entertainment. After 3 years of seclusion, he was exposed by his daughter. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 176, Crazy Slap in the Face, Vicious Zhang Kaiyang. In a residence on Zixili Island, the two men were already stunned. They had been following a live broadcast from beginning to end. But now, for them, they have seen the development of the matter from beginning to end. When Lin Fei first agreed to the bet of the two Yang brothers, the two were very excited. After all, this means that Lin Fei will definitely be caught in a dilemma possible. The two really couldn't believe, while Lin Fei had such a good cooking skill. According to what they thought, the good cooking skills of Lin Fei rumored on the internet were definitely a show effect. How could a singer cook such delicious meals? But now, they were wrong. Lin Fei is very strong. So strong that they dared not believe it. How could Lin Fei's cooking skills be so strong? Where did he learn it? In the end, what made the two even more angry was that the Yang brothers actually admitted that Lin Fei's cooking was delicious. What the hell? Don't they know the agreement between the few people? And if Lin Fei were here, he would be surprised. Surprised at why these two people were here. That's right. Lin Fei knew both of them. One was called Wang Gaodan, and the other was Li Dong. Unexpectedly, Li Dong would follow Lin Fei here. Such an action is really unimaginable. Li Dong slapped the coffee table in front of him fiercely, and he was very angry. Damn, what's the matter with these two people? Wang Gaodan, didn't you say that these two people would definitely do what you said? Is this the result you said? Wang Gaodan was also a little embarrassed at this time. Got it. Suddenly, Wang Gaodan thought of something and spoke again and again. I have another idea, Mr. Li. You don't have to be angry. This time, Lin Fei himself is a bit capable, but next time, it may not be the same. Huh? What do you mean? Li Dong became interested and quickly came closer. That Wang Gaodan, at this moment, smiled and whispered, I was afraid that the wall had ears. But I didn't know that someone was also paying attention to the situation here. Crackling. In a ward of Heizhou Hospital, Zhang Kaiyang was holding a water cup in his hand, and it was creaking. After exhaling a puff of smoke, Zhang Kaiyang turned his head coldly. Is this what you call setting a trap for Lin Fei? You seem to be teasing me. Isn't this just giving Lin Fei a chance to show off? Setting a trap? Where did it go? This aside, Secretary Zhao Zhao also became embarrassed. Yes, this matter is not that simple. Today, she originally thought that she could bring good news to Zhang Kaiyang. After all, Zhang Kaiyang's mood has not been so good every day since he was hospitalized for so many days. And Zhao Zhao has always known that all this is because of Lin Fei's appearance. These days, Zhang Kaiyang has been chanting Lin Fei's name, gritting his teeth, and wishing to cut Lin Fei into pieces. He was already a little anxious in his heart. Zhang Kaiyang is not a fool and naturally knows what he did at the beginning. However, Lin Fei has not been exposed yet. Because once exposed, Zhang Kaiyang believes that it is easy for him to keep things quiet with the power in his hands. And he is even less likely to take the initiative. Otherwise, wouldn't he be exposing himself? But now, seeing Lin Fei's development little by little, his popularity is getting higher and higher. How can Zhang Kaiyang accept it? In the future, if Lin Fei really grows to a strong point, then it will be even more difficult for Zhang Kaiyang to deal with him. On the contrary, he will lose his reputation because of his previous actions. Zhang Kaiyang, who enjoyed all the glory and wealth, did not want to see that result. Otherwise, how could Zhang Kaiyang keep framing Lin Fei now? All this, in the final analysis, was because he was panicking. Boss, you don't have to say anything. Zhang Kaiyang waved his hand. Suddenly, Zhang Kaiyang's eyes became fierce. Zhao, I'll give you a task. You do this. Zhao's eyes widened when he heard Zhang Kaiyang's words. Mr. Zhang, this won't do. Why not? What? Why are you talking so much nonsense? I just ask you, will you do this? Zhao hesitated immediately. She didn't expect that Zhang Kaiyang would let her do such a thing. Is Zhang Kaiang crazy? Thinking about it, Xiao Zhao wanted to refuse so much. If this matter is exposed, then I will be an accomplice. At that time, Xiao Zhao doesn't believe that he can escape responsibility. You want to refuse? Just when Xiao Zhao was confused, Zhang Kaiang's voice sounded. This voice seemed so gloomy at this time that Xiao Zhao felt cold all over. Do you think you can escape? Of course, you can leave, but you don't know. I have dozens of gigabytes of your videos in my hand, which are all crazy videos of you and me together. If you leave, I think it won't be long before a woman who is hated by others will appear. I think you definitely don't like to see such a thing, right? You. Suddenly turning her head, Xiao Zhao looked at Zhang Kaiang in disbelief. She was stunned. Kaiang actually secretly recorded such a video. This was something she had never thought of. She and Zhang Kaiang have been in love for so many years. Doesn't Zhang Kaiang know to think of the old relationship? Looking at Zhang Kaiang, Xiao Zhao gritted her teeth and said, Zhang Kaiang, you are so vicious. Don't you care about our feelings? Vicious? You must know who I am, Zhang Kaiang, after all these years, right? Xiao Zhao, let me tell you, I have left evidence of all the things you have done over the years, plus those videos. I think it should be easy to discredit you, right? As for feelings, don't laugh at me. Do you really think I have feelings for you? I just treat you as my dog, a pawn. Of course, at least now, you are still useful. I don't need to abandon you. If you listen to me, that would be the best. If you don't, it would be easy to destroy you. Chapter 177. Information about the two brothers. Looking at Zhang Kaiang, Xiao Zhao was already stunned. She never expected that she would face such a situation now. This one is really strong and has a poisonous heart. This person is so scary. He is definitely a very controlling and powerful person who plans everything. For such a result, Xiao Zhao could not have imagined it. Zhao feel fear. What should I do? Promise. Then he will really be in doom. Don't agree. When Zhang Kaiang really exposes the evidence, won't he be doomed? A deep sense of fear appeared in Xiao Zhao's heart. This fear is all because of Zhang Kaiang. Why are you still here? Why don't you do what I say? What? Do you want to be famous on the internet? Zhang Kaiang's voice sounded gloomily. Dada. Hearing such a voice, Xiao Zhao hesitated for a moment, then turned and left. No one knows whether she will do what Zhang Kaiang said, but at the very least, Zhang Kaiang seems to be confident about this. Snort. Looking at the empty ward, Zhang Kaiang raised the corners of his mouth and spoke coldly. Lin Fei, why do you have to deal with me like this? Do you think you can really deal with me? Now, you were the one who forced me to act like this. I really hope you can still survive. Between gritting his teeth, Zhang Kaiang burst into laughter. Little did he know that Xiao Zhao was still here outside the door listening to Zhang Kaiang's wild laughter inside. Xiao Zhao's eyes changed slightly. No one knew what she was thinking. Oh, seeing the shock on the faces of the Yang brothers in front of him, Lin Fei finally smiled. To be honest, Lin Fei was really nervous before. After all, he didn't expect someone to make such a provocation to him. As for Lin Fei, it can be said that he was very cautious when he came up with this dish. Among them, he showed his strong knife skills and his grasp of the taste of ingredients. All of this is ultimately due to Lin Fei's confidence in his cooking skills. After all, after gaining proficiency in cooking, Lin Fei fully understood the impact of acquiring such cooking skills. That's really all powerful. Any ingredient seemed to be driven by Lin Fei's hands. Lin Fei smiled and spoke. It's really not easy. I actually got a positive answer from both of you. Yes, Lin Fei was a little surprised. He didn't expect the Yang brothers to have such an answer. After all, everyone can see that the Yang brothers came prepared. Obviously, he would choose to answer without conscience. But now, such a result is actually said, which is unexpected. Similarly, Liu Lei, who was just about to walk in from outside, didn't expect it either. Liu Lei had discovered such a situation just now, and he wanted to rush over to solve the problem. but out of consideration for the program, Liu Lei still held back point after all. Lin Fei's cooking skills will also be the opening of the live broadcast on the first day point ever. Since he saw Lin Fei's cooking skills the day before yesterday, Liu Lei was full of information about Lin Fei's cooking skills. Sure enough, when Lin Fei finally made the finished product, Liu Lei was surprised. What kind of understanding and cooking skills do you need to be able to make such delicacies that are eye-catching to others? Similarly, Liu Lei also saw it in Liu Lei the barrage just now, and everyone was so shocked. Lin Fei's cooking skills are simply too powerful. Later, when a dish was served on the table, Liu Lei immediately reacted. We can't let them say it's not delicious. If he said it, Lin Fei would be in a dilemma. Seeing that the other guests are here, there is no way to directly shirk this bet. Then Liu Lei felt that he would be such an ending person. Fortunately, after arriving at the door, Liu Lei heard the word coming from inside. Looking inside again, the Yang brothers couldn't help, but when they heard Lin Fei's words, Yang Qiang looked at the dishes in front of him, smiled and then spoke. Mr. Lin, right? I'm really surprised to taste such delicious food. After speaking, Yang Qiang pointed to the dishes in front of him. Phoenix, it really fits the bill. I'm surprised that you can carve such a lifelike phoenix out of such a radish. Poured down, as if magma had been added to the phoenix. The base of the phoenix is like a lifelike flame, and when embellished with the soup, it seems to really burn, especially the ingredients below. Yang Qiang spoke in admiration. It's like a piece of stubborn stone in the magma, but when we eat this stone, it is crispy on the outside and tender on the inside, without any hint of fried greasiness, just like eating a soup pot. But unfortunately, the meat inside is so smooth and tender. This dish, heaving a sigh of relief, Yang Qiang looked at his brother and finally spoke. It's really perfect. Wow. Hearing this, the guests around were excited. Such a dish can actually get the affirmation of the provocateur, which shows how delicious it is. It's my greatest honor to get the affirmation of the two of you. Lin Fei smiled and spoke very gentlemanly. Oh, no need to say that. Yang Kang waved his hand. In the final analysis, this is all your own strength. We two brothers are convinced. As for the two looked at each other, and Yang Qiang smiled. Mr. Lin, I wonder if I can say a few words to you. Oh, hearing this, Lin Fei hesitated for a moment, but still nodded. Come with me. Speaking, Lin Fei went to the refrigerator at the back point. He knew that there were no cameras and sound collection devices on the refrigerator side point, so Lin Fei and Yang Qiang came here. Looking at Yang Qiang, Lin Fei smiled. Brother Yang, I'll call you that. Just say it. No one will know what you say here. Okay, Yang Qiang finally spoke, as if he had made a big decision. Mr. Lin, this time, the two of us came here under someone's orders. Oh, Lin Fei smiled unexpectedly. And outside the door, Liu Lei suddenly thought of something, and walked in with a smile in his eyes. There is a way to deal with the provocation of these two people. Chapter 178, Hot Search Again. After hearing what Yang Qiang said, Lin Fei smiled unexpectedly. Lin Fei must have expected this result. He is not a fool. It is obvious that someone instructed him to do so. Otherwise, he is broadcasting live. How idle is he? Here, I don't know. Yang Qiang suddenly smiled bitterly. I don't know. Lin Fei was confused. How could I not know? What does this mean? To be honest, that person is really too cautious. Yang Qiang smiled bitterly. The person who came to me wore a hat from beginning to end, and a mask on his face. I wanted to see what he looked like, but there was no way. Oh, hearing this description, Lin Fei was a little confused. Is that person wearing black clothes? And he is not too tall? Yes. Why? Mr. Lin, have you seen this person? Do you know who he is? Yes, but who is he? I don't know. Lin Fei shook his head. Yes, this person. Lin Fei is really familiar with him. Isn't this the person who everyone saw behind the stone at the door when they came to the restaurant yesterday? At that time, when Lin Fei saw that person, he felt very familiar, but he never figured out who this person was. Even now, Lin Fei still hasn't figured it out. This matter has always made Lin Fei feel itchy in his heart and feel very uncomfortable. Well, it seems that this matter has become a mystery again. Lin Fei smiled helplessly. Although it is said that when the enemy comes, the general will stop it, and when the water comes, the earth will cover it, but this kind of unknown enemy makes Lin Fei feel a little helpless. Looking at Yang Kaiang, Lin Fei smiled. Brother Yang, thank you for praising my dishes today. Hey, what you said, Yang? Kaiang smiled embarrassedly, then his expression changed, and he became a little melancholy. You're really good. How heartless are we two brothers to do something to slander you. But we two may not be able to continue working in the restaurant here. This is really a case of losing more than gaining. This, Lin Fei hesitated for a moment, but he didn't expect such a result. This is their favorite job after all. Although pitiful people must have hateful things, fortunately, they made up for their mistakes and turned back. In the end, Lin Fei didn't have any hatred for these two people. After all, they were doing things for money. For such a pawn, Lin Fei didn't have any resentment. In that case, how to solve this matter has become a problem for Lin Fei to think about. And as the saying goes, there is always a bright future. At this moment, Liu Lei walked in. Everyone, congratulations on your successful response to the emergency arranged by our program team. Hearing Liu Lei's words, Lin Fei's expression suddenly brightened. This Liu Lei is here to help. Turning around, I saw Liu Lei smiling at this time. Manager Tang, I'm very sorry, these two people are exactly an emergency arranged by our program team for you. Obviously, you have perfectly solved this matter, and you have also been affirmed by two professionals. It seems that with your efforts, the future program will definitely get better and better. Tang Xiaochu was obviously stunned for a moment, but soon, he smiled. Everyone Liu Lei's idea. And Lin Fei, when he heard this, he smiled immediately. Patting Yang Kaiang on the shoulder, Lin Fei walked forward with a smile. Director, you've made me suffer. I've put all my skills into this. By the way, do you want me to pay for the cooking? I'll do it. Haha, if I don't pay for such delicious food, wouldn't it be a waste of my skills? Yang Kaiang was quick to react and hurriedly followed Lin Fei out, holding 100 yuan in his hand and putting it on the table. Looking at Liu Lei, Yang Kaiang's eyes were full of emotion, and then he smiled and said, Director, in that case, we'll leave first. Okay, thank you for your hard work. With Yang Kaiang's unintentional gratitude, the two left. Looking at the guests, Liu Lei winked at everyone and turned to leave. Provocation. Yeah, the acting of the people invited by the program group should be so realistic. I'm really worried about Lin Fei. The program group didn't tell us in advance about this and made us fans so nervous. That's right, but no matter what, Lin Fei's cooking skills are really great. Look, these guests are almost finishing the dishes on the plate. On the plate. Wow, Dad, this is so delicious. Lin Yao took a bite of beef and exclaimed. The rest of the people were also in the same mood. It was soft and sticky in the mouth, and you could vaguely feel the crispness of the skin. This feeling was something that no one had ever experienced. For a while, everyone exclaimed again and again. Similarly, on the internet, a group of fans also expressed their opinions on what happened today. Can be seen that among them, some fans have already made a video, and the overall steps of Lin Fei's cooking have also been accelerated. However, this does not affect ability to see Lin Fei. Under Weibo, the number of comments is rising rapidly. Fuck. What the hell, is this a hand? This carrot was sold at a sky-high price? Wow, what else can't Lin Fei do? Cooking? I don't see where his singing and acting skills are. Isn't Lin Fei too good? I'm really curious now. Why did Lin Fei's wife leave him? Above, I think there must be a hidden story. Otherwise, how could a woman leave such an excellent man like Lin Fei? Lin Fei, forget about her. Just marry me. I don't ask for much. Just cook and support me every day. Okay. Chapter 179. Guests are coming. Half an hour later, the guests in the restaurant watched the internet stir up a new wave. And all the things that happened before were well solved by the director team. The advance arrangement of the program team instantly made no longer have any doubts about the appearance of these two people. Especially the Yang brothers. who might have to face the crusades of those fans before point, but because of Liu Lei's publicity effect, it was completely a turnaround at this time point. No one would misunderstand them point. Such a countermeasure made everyone admire Liu Lei's wit point. Of course, no one said anything about the thanks from the Yang brothers afterwards. After all, it was all because of money point, and in the end, they were able to achieve such a result under such pressure, and everyone was still very happy about it point. At the same time, everyone also knew that all this was Lin Fei's credit. If it weren't for Lin Fei's strength in the dish that Lin Fei made, which could be called a work of art, perhaps everyone would not know what the outcome would be. Patting Lin Fei on the shoulder, Zhang Hang smiled. Brother Lin, you have made an indispensable contribution to solving this problem. This is nothing, it's just a normal dish, and we have collected the labor fee, right? Haha. Everyone laughed when they heard it, and Lin Ya, at this time, also pulled the corner of Lin Fei's clothes and said, Dad, I want to eat this in the afternoon. Can you make it again? Haha, okay. I'll make it for you in the afternoon. Yeah. Everyone looked at Lin Ya's happy look and smiled kindly. Ingredients do we need to buy? Let's buy them together when the time comes. Anything is fine. Let's just cook whatever we buy, okay? Hearing this, Zhang Hang did not hesitate. It was only 10:30, and it was not time for dinner yet. So, everyone had a rare leisure time, and sat in the store, and chatted about everything. After chatting like this, everyone found that Lin Fei's knowledge reserve was really strong. They found that there seemed to be nothing that Lin Fei didn't know. From astronomy and geography to some small things, Lin Fei basically had his own unique insights. Such a discovery made a little confused. They didn't expect Lin Fei to be so knowledgeable. Look at Lin Ya again, she also knows a lot of things. Among them, talked about everyone what delicious things are in various places in Langoa. Too strong, right? You know so many things, what else can't you do? Listening to Yang Zixin's words, Lin Fei saw the admiration in Yang Zixin's eyes, and smiled prettily for a while. Hey, I just learned a lot when I was bored. Isn't this too much? Oh, Yumuj also said with shining eyes. This kind of man is really admired by other women. After all, knowing everything is simply a role model for men in everyone's hearts. Similarly, the same feeling was felt in the live broadcast room. Oh my goodness, this Lin Fei is so awesome. How can he know everything? Isn't Lin Fei too strong? I thought I knew Lin Fei very well, but I didn't expect that Lin Fei could do something else. I was still thinking that Lin Fei's cooking skills today were his ultimate skill, but I didn't expect that his knowledge reserve was so strong. Is this Lin Fei a library? Is he so scary? As a local, I don't even know how to make our special snacks. You are a little embarrassed upstairs, but I'm the same as you. The barrage showed unprecedented heat. All this is because of the promotion of hot searches. More and more people know about Lin Fei's appearance, and more people are surprised by Lin Fei's amazing talent. In this regard, the only winner may be Liu Lei. At this time, he was already laughing in the studio outside. But he didn't know that at this time, there was also a group of people paying attention to this site on the internet. In the office of the Zixili Islands Union, Chris, the president of the union, was looking at the video on the computer in front of him and fell into deep thought. After a long time, the video was finished, and Chris looked surprised. This cooking skill is very strong. I really didn't expect that such a strong chef would come to our Zixili Island. Click. As he said, Chris picked up the phone in front of him and called his secretary. Soon, the secretary pushed the door and walked in, and Chris spoke excitedly. Here, called Yao Jia Restaurant. It is a group of people from the mysterious Eastern Dragon country. I hope you can go there. When you get there, find a man named Lin Fei, and tell him that I sincerely invite him to participate in the Zixili Island Cooking Grand Prix in 3 days. Okay, President Chris. The secretary nodded and turned to leave. Looking at the door that was closed again, Chris was excited. Lin Fei, you are really a magical man. The East is really a mysterious country. Hey, hello, are you here for dinner? Fei and a few others were chatting They suddenly heard Zhang Hang's voice outside. Everyone stood up immediately after hearing it. Is this a guest? These people were so fascinated by the chat that they even forgot to open the door to welcome guests. I quickly turned around and looked at the door. What happened? Hello, do you want to eat? Come in. Oh, you. Muj was very enthusiastic and walked forward to invite repeatedly. Soon, seeing the man come in, Tang Xiaochu spoke. You, a Tanfeng. Chapter 180, Tanfeng's story. After hearing Tang Xiaochu's words, the man who followed Zhang Hang in the door was obviously stunned. This man was wearing silver glasses at this time. The man looked timid and made people feel that he was very honest. Everyone saw such a situation and had a good impression of the man in front of them. Years. Haha, yes, I didn't expect it either. Brother Xiaochu, we haven't seen each other for a long time. Do you know each other? Looking at the conversation between the two, Muj on the side spoke in confusion at this time. Yes. Later, he thrived with his unique voice, but who would have thought that when he was popular in the voice actor industry, he suddenly retired? Oh. Tanfeng. After hearing Tang Xiaochu's words, Lin Fei fell into deep thought. He was thinking about his memories. Finally, a memory came to his mind, and Lin Fei spoke unexpectedly. Did you sing the beginning of the water tune? Yes, there are still people who remember my things. How can I not remember? Lin Fei pouted. Back then, this was a song that sang. Basically, everyone knew it. I didn't expect to see you in person today. Hey, a good man doesn't talk about his past achievements. There's nothing much to say about the past. Okay, Lin Fei smiled bitterly. Perhaps Tanfeng had something to hide. But, to be honest, he was also very curious about what it was. Ah, I remember it. Suddenly, Muj shouted. I remember that I sang your song in the past. The melody was really beautiful. I didn't expect it. I only knew that this song was popular before, but I had never seen you in person. Tang Xiaochu was full of black lines. You are so startled. You really want to scare me to death. As he said, Tang Xiaochu quickly reacted and turned to look at Tanfeng. Oh, you are so surprised at us that you forget that we are guests. Come on, come in. Haven't you had lunch yet? If not, come in and have something to eat. Okay, I'm sorry to bother you. What's the big deal? Tang Xiaochu waved his hand indifferently, and just like that, the first official guest of the restaurant arrived. Tomato and egg soup, sweet and sour pork tenderloin, fish flavored eggplant. A set meal was served on the table in just 10 minutes in the restaurant. Everyone sat down directly like this. Everyone looked at Tanfeng intentionally or unintentionally. The main reason was that had nothing to do now, otherwise, they didn't know what to do. But no one thought that Tanfeng was extremely embarrassed at this time. Well, everyone, you guys are like this. I'm a little panicked. Haha. Everyone smiled awkwardly and then turned to look outside. And in the barrage, they were also smiling happily at this time. Oh my god, they are so embarrassed. How can you just watch people eat? Yeah, it's like I'm going to beat you up if you don't eat. Isn't that funny? Do these people want to scare me like this? No, I'm dying of laughter. I thought that the long lost Tanfeng's appearance today should be a touching scene. Why is it so embarrassing now? But I don't know what Tanfeng has been through in these years. You know, he is one of the earliest generation of cross-dressing singers. Hey? I'm curious, between Tanfeng and Lin Fei, who has a wider range of voices? Of course, Lin Fei and the others didn't know what said in the barrage. I don't know why. Looked outside, and as they watched, they became a little bored again. So, you. Tanfeng looked helpless. Damn it. Why are these people always looking at him? Do you want to bully me like this? And Tang Xiaochu reacted at this time. Looking at Tanfeng, Tang Xiaochu asked, Xiao Feng, we met by chance at the beginning. At that time, I felt that you were gifted and a genius in sound, but I'm very curious, why did you suddenly disappear? What happened? You know, you were famous in the music industry and dubbing industry back then. Now you are only in your 20s, right? How come it suddenly became like this? After hearing Tang Xiaochu's words, Tanfeng sighed for a moment. Well, Doing this, Tan Feng put down his bowl and chopsticks, looked at the food in front of him, and for a moment his expression was lost in memories. When everyone in the restaurant saw this situation, they immediately became confused. What's going on? Everyone had only one idea, that is, this Tan Feng must have a story point, and it seems that this story is not something that can be simply understood. Tan Feng's appearance is so distressing. What did he go through before? Yes, I always feel that there seem to be many stories behind this man. Wow, I think of Tan Feng's glorious moments before. Why is he like this now? Similarly, the barrage was full of such emotions. Everyone was very confused about what Tan Feng had experienced before. And then, Tan Feng finally smiled bitterly and started to tell the story. For a while, everyone listened very seriously, but slowly, everyone's expression changed. From the initial curiosity to the end, everyone's expression became sentimental. Would bear such a big story behind him. Thinking back then, I was really obsessed with music. I hope to bring my singing to more people, but Chapter 181, Lin Fei's decision. At that time, everyone was surprised that poetry could be adapted in this way, and I succeeded, and my popularity was getting higher and higher, but I felt that this was not me, the singer Tan Feng. He was very lonely, and every day I could only face the music score and lyrics, which did not make me feel happy. After that, I began to try to enter the dubbing industry. At that time, to be honest, I was very happy, because I integrated myself into it, and those roles seemed to be me. During that time, to be honest, I really felt very happy. Although everyone was a little puzzled about me, why I gave up the road of singing. Fortunately, more people felt happy because of my dubbing works. Yeah. Listening to Tan Feng's words, Tang Xiaochu nodded in agreement. At the beginning, everyone was very shocked why you quit the music scene, but later, after saw your works in the dubbing industry, everyone discovered your stronger plasticity, and the performance in it was amazing. The people around him listened and nodded as well. At this time, no one thought that Tan Feng chose to retire for such a reason. Thinking about it, everyone was looking forward to it. What happened to Tan Feng? Everyone next. Tan Feng smiled bitterly and continued to speak. Because I think that still won't make me happy. I always feel that something is missing in my life. So, I chose to retire again 2 years ago. Tan Feng smiled, as if he was mocking himself. To be honest, at the beginning, I thought such a decision was really crazy, but when I went out, I found that the outside world is really wonderful. I met countless people, and met that she is also a voice actor. Because of her appearance, I found that I was no longer empty around me. Every time I was with her, even if I didn't say anything, I felt extremely happy. I guess this is love. Suddenly, Tan Feng smiled, and he smiled so happily. For a moment, Lin Fei and the others also smiled. Everyone was deeply infected by Tan Feng's smile. No one expected that Tan Feng would meet his other half, which made feel very happy. And Ayumuge smiled and said, "Hearing you say this, I seem to feel your sweet love. I guess you two must be living very happily now, right? Really enviable, isn't it? My goodness, is this still a food show? Why do I feel so full of dog food? Tan Feng, be a human being. I really can't eat this dog food. Where is the program team? Why don't you come out to solve it? We are here to watch the show, not to eat dog food." For a while, there was a lot of laughter and scolding in the barrage, and no one expected such a story. However, in the next Tan Feng's words, everyone stunned. "Sister. Oh, what you said makes me feel a little embarrassed, because we haven't confirmed our relationship yet." What? Instantly, everyone was confused. Not confirmed our relationship. What's going on? Similarly, the audience also had a lot of question marks, and no one out what was going on. And Tang Xiaochu asked the question in his heart without hesitation. "What's going on?" Haha, I'm ashamed to say. Suddenly, Tan Feng's face was full of figured embarrassment. Looking at everyone, Tan Feng's face actually turned slightly red. After a long time, he finally spoke. "Because I'm embarrassed to confess." Puff. Instantly, the juice that Lin Fei had just drunk sprayed out. The others around him were also confused, and everyone didn't know what expression to use now. Sad. It seems that something is wrong. Laughing? That's even more wrong. For a moment, everyone's crying and laughing look was really unexpected. Oh my god, I'm dying of laughter. Too embarrassed to confess? What's the story behind this? That's right. How can Tan Feng like a girl, but be too embarrassed to confess? I'm really curious. Who is that girl? How could she make Tan Feng like this? No, I really want to sympathize with him, but I want to laugh even more. As the discussion and the barrage heated up, Tan Feng smiled bitterly. I don't think I'm worthy of her. I always feel that my current living conditions don't seem to be able to give her a good life. I've thought about it countless times, whether I should return to the music scene or the dubbing industry, and then make money to support her, but the current era really doesn't give me such an opportunity. Now, there are really many talented people. I'm afraid that, when I go back, I won't have excellent works, and will never recover from it. I'm even worried that I'm not well prepared, and will fail in my confession. I'm very worried. Actually, I'm thinking that if I fail, maybe we can't even be friends. At that time, it may be even more difficult to see her. Everyone was stunned. Unexpectedly, Tan Feng would give such an answer. Yes, failed. Maybe we can't even be friends. Right. How many people on the internet say that even if the confession fails, we can still be friends? But how many people can do it? And during this time, everyone fell into silence. Looking at Tan Feng again. After saying this, his mood suddenly fell to silently picking up the bowl and chopsticks. Tan Feng started eating again. Now, even the food in front of him doesn't taste delicious. It's as if his mood has already affected his taste. This Lin Fei and the others looked at each other, and everyone saw a trace of discomfort in each other's eyes. I didn't expect that Tan Feng would put so much pressure on me. Mind. Chapter 182. Chris. Who is it? Alas. Why, I really feel sorry for him now. Tan Feng is right. I failed when I confessed my secret crush, and now we haven't been in touch for 3 years. Although it is said that love should be said boldly, but when it comes to this matter, we will be afraid. Alas. I looked at my lover beside me, and I'm really glad that we have survived all these years of ups and downs. As the saying goes, the more you care, the more afraid you are. Tan Feng is like this now. In the barrage, a crazy discussion broke out at this time. Everyone resonated with Tan Feng's words for a while, was sad because of Tan Feng's words in the final analysis. It's all because of love. One part is silent waiting, and dedication is really sad. Finally, after minutes, Tan Feng finished the meal in front of him. How much? Smile. Youmuge listened and waved his hands repeatedly. It's free. You are our first official customer. No need to pay. Well, okay, thank you. Tan Feng smiled and put away his phone. In that case, I'll leave first. After saying that, Tan Feng stood up and was about to leave. Wait. Finally, Lin Fei spoke. Tan Feng, who had already pushed the door and walked out, stopped. Tan Feng turned around and was puzzled. What's wrong? Hearing this, Lin Fei let out a long breath and then walked forward. When he came in front of him, Lin Fei spoke very seriously. Tan Feng, after thinking about it, I still want to make this decision. What decision? Lin Fei spoke seriously. I can help you enter the music and dubbing industry again, and I can also help you create a romantic confession to the extreme. Why do you want to help me? Tan Feng asked directly without hesitation. At this time, he frowned. He couldn't figure out why Lin Fei would help him so much. Listening, Lin Fei smiled. Patting his shoulder, Lin Fei spoke word by word. Because of your sincerity in love, I feel the power of love, and, to be honest, I don't want to see a child of destiny like you really disappear. The music industry needs innovative players like you, and your fans must also want to see more of your dubbing works, right? After saying that, Lin Fei grinned. In fact, there is one more thing that Lin Fei didn't say. He needs his own connections, including Sheng Sichen at the beginning. Lin Fei can help these people with all his strength. And when Lin Fei fought back against Zhang Qiang in the end, he also hoped that these people would come forward to help him. This is Lin Fei's consideration. After all, people are not saints who can be like a saint to lift someone up at any cost. At least, Lin Fei thinks he can't do it. He has so much pressure on his shoulders that he really has no time to take care of other things. At least, it's like this now. Wow. Lin Fei is so nice, isn't he? He made this decision without hesitation. Yeah, I really didn't expect that Lin Fei would be so righteous. Tan Feng, promise him. Two people are always better than one person. That's right. I think Lin Fei is a romantic master. I believe he will give you a satisfactory answer. And soon, Lin Fei also smiled. How about this? You think about it. This is my mobile phone number. You can come to me at any time when the time comes. Looking at the piece of paper handed over by Lin Fei, Tan Feng hesitated for a moment, but still took it. Okay, if I have any ideas, I will contact you, but I'm sorry to bother you. It's okay. It's struggling okay, Lin Fei heartily point. Tan Feng took his cell phone number, which naturally proved his thoughts. It just took time. Alas, lovers finally get married. This Tan Feng is really pitiful. Yes. At the door of the restaurant, watched Tan Feng leave, and they didn't know what to say. Such a person is a loyal person. But now, everyone has been no chance, or no courage to express it to the girl. Brother Lin. Seeing that Tan Feng's figure had disappeared from everyone's sight, Zhang Hang patted Lin Fei on the shoulder. I didn't expect that you would make such a promise to him. Heh, nothing. Lin Fei smiled and said nothing. In fact, in Tan Feng, Lin Fei clearly found that there was his own shadow. This person is very paranoid for love, and likes the pure feeling buried in the heart. And to be honest, Lin Fei himself has considered the decision made by Tan Feng. After all, this is someone else's emotional issue, and Lin Fei doesn't want to interfere. But it was because he and Tang Xin had gone through so many things that Lin Fei wanted to see Tan Feng really have his own love point in addition to his own considerations for the future. Therefore, Lin Fei said such words. Let him make his own decisions on everything. If he really needs his help, then Lin Fei also decided that he must do his best to help him. Not for anything else, just for the love that makes people yearn for in their hearts. Lovers finally get married. How can Lin Fei not want to see it? Hello, is this place open? At this moment, two women came over on the street. Hearing such a voice, everyone reacted instantly. Oh, it's almost 11:30, and it's time for dinner. Oh you. Nuge looked at the time and hurriedly looked at the two girls and said, yes, we just opened today. Come in. We have a unified set meal today, 43 yuan per serving. Come in and try it. Also changed a little. Hello, is Mr. Lin Fei here? As a result, just when was about to go in, another voice rang out. Looking at the standard Western beauty who appeared, Lin Fei nodded. I am. Are you here for dinner? No. Hello, Mr. Lin. I came to see you on behalf of Mr. Chris. Chris? I don't know him. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 183, Go. You must go. At this time, Lin Fei looked at the beautiful woman in front of him with confusion on his face. Similarly, this woman also spoke very standard Lango dialect, which surprised Lin Fei. Looking at the woman, Lin Fei's eyes were full of doubts. Excuse me, who is Chris? I remember that I don't have any foreign friends in my circle of friends, right? Politely, Mr. Lin, it is true that you don't know our Mr. Chris, and you two are not friends, but our Mr. Chris really wants to be friends with you. Oh, Lin Fei became even more confused as he listened. Who is this Mr. Chris? Instead of answering Lin Fei's question, the woman smiled. Mr. Lin, there is a saying in your dragon country that it is a joy to have friends from far away. Isn't it a bit inappropriate to turn away guests like this? Haha, I'm sorry. Hearing this, Lin Fei spoke quickly. At this time, everyone at the door quickly turned around and invited the woman to walk in. Arriving at the restaurant, Lin Fei looked at the two customers who had just entered and smiled. You two beauties, please wait a moment. I'll take care of some things here, and then I'll prepare lunch for you two. It's okay, it's okay. We are not in a hurry. The two women listened and waved their hands. Lin Fei also heard the quiet conversation between the two women at this time. Wow. This Lin Fei is really handsome. Yes, I really didn't expect that Lin Fei is so much more handsome than on TV. I like it so much. And Lin Fei's daughter is so cute. Tell me, how nice would it be if I married Lin Fei? Huh? Didn't you agree to let me marry him? Listening to the conversation between the two, Lin Fei's head was full of black lines. It's so funny. These two are teasing themselves. Do you really think that you don't exist? Young master, I will be right behind you two. Is that what you two told me? Why don't you do this to yourself? The two women, when they heard Lin Fei's cough, immediately reacted and quickly silenced themselves, saying nothing more. Lango dialect is really standard. Haha, Mr. Lin is laughing. The woman smiled. My name is Alice. Mr. Lin can call me that, and I have been very keen on the culture of Dragon Kingdom since I was a child. Even when I was in college, I studied in Dragon Kingdom. I really love the Dragon Kingdom so much. The food of the Dragon Kingdom, the humanistic culture of the Dragon Kingdom, everything is deeply attracted to me, especially the culture of the Dragon Kingdom. I feel that it is something that I will never be able to do in my life. Learned it all. Haha, Miss Alice is speaking harshly. For such a woman who likes the Dragon Kingdom so much, Lin Fei still has a very good impression of her in his heart. Lin Fei smiled and spoke. The culture of Dragon Kingdom is extensive and profound. Even we are studying hard now. As the saying goes, learning is endless. Okay, finally, Lin Fei got to the point. Miss Alice, you have also seen that we have diners here. I don't know, why did you come to me this time? Haha, in fact, it can be regarded as bringing Mr. Lin a piece of news to show himself. 3 days later, that is, Wednesday, starting at 12 noon, we will hold a chef cooking competition at the nearby Zixi Plaza. I hope you can participate. Oh, invite me to the Culinary Arts Grand Prix. Lin Fei was quite surprised. This news surprises me. Wouldn't it be a little too reckless of you to invite me to participate? How could be? Alice said. Mr. Lin, today, Mr. Chris and I saw your performance. Oh, by the way, Mr. Chris is the president of our Chef Alliance. This Grand Prix was founded by him. Oh my god, you don't know. After I saw your cooking show today, I was so surprised that I really can't describe it in words. President Chris decided at that time that he must invite you to participate. He even said that you will be the most capable winner of the Grand Prix this year. Haha, you are complimenting me. In fact, my strength is participate. Holy shit, Lin Fei almost jumped up immediately. Turning around, he saw the two female diners who had entered first, standing behind Lin Fei. The shouts made by these two people just now scared Lin Fei. I saw that the two people looked excited at this time. Seeing this, Lin Fei was confused. What do you two want to do? Idol, you have to participate. Show. If you don't participate, wouldn't it be a disgrace to your talents? Lin Fei was stunned. Did the change of things happen too quickly? It's special. Doesn't it have to be decided by yourself whether to participate? Mr. Lin, I have the same idea as them. As a result, Alice spoke up. You definitely have the ability. If you have such ability, why don't you give it a try? Lin Fei listened and smiled helplessly. Miss Alice, to be honest, I also want to participate in your competition, but you may not know that this is a variety show, and I'm a guest here. I can't give up the live broadcast of the show because of such a competition. This is not in line with my professional ethics. Mr. Lin, you don't have to worry about this. Alice smiled and spoke as if she was sure of winning. Just now, I have invited the production team of your show in the name of President Chris. On Wednesday, we also invited the staff of your production team to record and broadcast our Grand Prix, and then, we also authorized Yaojia Restaurant to broadcast our entire competition accordingly. That is to say, on Wednesday, you all have to go. Lin Fei was stunned. Should this matter be done so decisively? This is to consider all the consequences. Turning his head, Lin Fei looked at Oyumuge. Ding. Message. Chapter 184. Building momentum. Busy lunch. Lin Fei didn't expect that Alice actually communicated with the director team in advance about such a thing. And Oyumuge, looking at the message sent by Liu Lei again, couldn't help but smile bitterly. Director Liu said that our restaurant will suspend business for 1 day on Wednesday. At that time, you will participate in the competition in the name of our restaurant. After the competition, we can rest. Okay. Lin Fei shrugged. Since that's what you said, there's no need for me to refuse. Turning around and looking at Alice, Lin Fei smiled indifferently. Okay, I really didn't expect that your alliance would have such a decision. I'm a little flattered. Thank you very much, President Chris, for giving me such an opportunity. We will all be on time on Wednesday. Haha, okay. Mr. Lin, thank you very much for participating. Alice smiled. Heard your songs. They really make me reminisce. I really can't imagine that Mr. Lin is so versatile. I believe that our Grand Bricks will definitely shine with the participation of Mr. Lin. Haha, Miss Alice, you are too kind. Oh, by the way, it's time for dinner. Do you want to eat here? Oh. Really? Alice's eyes lit up. To be honest, I'm really curious about Mr. Lin's cooking skills. They said that there are not many times in the world to taste it. I really am curious. Of course, you are a guest, but Miss Alice has to pay. Lin Fei smiled and made a joke point when Alice heard it. She was obviously stunned, but soon laughed and agreed. So, Lin Fei came to the kitchen. Hello, is this the restaurant where Lin Fei is? Yes, yes. Hello, is there any room here? There are 5 of us. We are here for the cute little Yang Zixin. Of course, of course. For a while, the restaurant welcomed diners one after another. Listening to the front desk Yang Zixin constantly telling him how many new diners there were, Lin Fei immediately got busy. This sudden acceleration made Lin Fei and Zhang Hang a little uncomfortable. Wow, it's really time for dinner. So many people came at once. Zhang Hang kept helping Lin Fei in the kitchen, and his hands did not stop moving at all. Listening, Lin Fei also turned on 4 stoves, and 4 pots started instantly. Lin Fei smiled. Yes, there are a lot of tourists here. Come on. So just like that, the two began to speed up. And while everyone was busy, outside, in the room, where the program team was, seeing more and more people coming to the restaurant at this time, the directors were all happy. After all, no matter what is said, this proves the popularity of the program for the program team promote it. I have given you the copy. Okay, I'll give you 20 minutes. Hurry up. Well, I'll wait for your message. Hang up. Xiao Bei hung up the phone. Liu Lei, who was listening at this time, also stood up and walked over. Xiao Bei, your studio is very efficient, and you started promoting it in 20 minutes. Of course, it just happens that there is heat, and these viewers will sooner or later turn up this hot surge. I might as well use this heat to promote it directly. That's right. Liu Lei nodded. Then let's hurry up to formulate the copy, and we will promote it in text in a while. Liu Lei also made arrangements. Just like the busyness in the restaurant, Xiao Bei and Liu Lei also started to get busy. Just like that, time came to 20 minutes later. On Weibo, a hot search named Lin Fei was invited to participate in the Zixili Island Cooking Grand Prix, was rapidly gaining popularity. Opening it, the first to bear the brunt was the Weibo of Lin Fei's studio. The content of the Weibo was very simple, just a paragraph of text, and below it were some highlights of Lin Fei's cooking. Very good. Lin Fei was invited to participate in the Grand Prix held by the Zixili Island Chefs Alliance. Friendship first, competition second. I hope to bring the food culture of Languo to more people. The second Weibo was posted by the official Weibo of Yaojia restaurant. On it, there was a paragraph of text saying that the restaurant would suspend business on Wednesday, and the cooking Grand Prix would be broadcast live throughout, and would be processed and broadcast later, hoping that everyone would pay attention. For a time, countless fans were excited about such a news. After all, in their hearts, Lin Fei means the most versatile man. If Lin Fei really won the final championship, surely such a dark horse would surprise everyone, right? Of course, unlike here, the restaurant was already busy at this time. Yang Zixin, Brother Fei, add 3 more set meals. Lin Fei, okay. Zhang Hang, there's no rice left. Xianachu, go to the restaurant next door and buy some rice. If we stew it now, it will be too late. Tang. Xianachu, okay, I'll go right away. Diners. Hello. Honey, I'm telling you, I found a super delicious restaurant. The taste is simply amazing. Do you want to come? Okay, I'll wait for you. Boss, is there any juice left? This juice is so delicious. Right. Oh you. Mooch. Yes, I'll be right there. For a while, everyone's face was smiling, and at the same time, the feeling of busyness and fatigue also appeared on his face. And all this is not over yet. A few people came to the door again. Boss, there's no place. Then let's wait a while. We just heard that the food you cook here is delicious. We came here on the news. In the restaurant, all the guests were shocked. In the kitchen, Lin Fei heard this and was helpless. Lin Fei wiped the sweat from his forehead and curled his lips. Damn it, this is only the first day of opening. Won't it be even more exciting in the future? For a while, everyone was tired, but happy. Finally, at nearly 2 o'clock, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. The last diner finally left. Chapter 185. The script arrives. Lin Fei is excited. My dear, I feel tired just looking at it. I haven't rested at all in the past 2 hours. UAH, the program team, you are just bullying Lin Fei. Our fans will feel sorry for Lin Fei when he is so tired. Oh, I really admire Lin Fei. I feel tired cooking 2 dishes by myself, let alone cooking so much at once. But everyone is so busy today. This is just the first day of opening. Will it always be like this in the future? Yes. The restaurant business of this program group is really good, and I think a large part of it is because of Lin Fei's appearance. For a moment, everyone in the barrage was discussing crazily. No one expected that a restaurant in this new season would be so popular. Even at the end of the day, it was actually full of people waiting outside. This level of popularity really surprised fans better, but such a good situation was something I never expected. Dinner time. Finally, Zhang Hang and Lin Fei walked out of the kitchen. Lin Fei did the same, holding the dish called Phoenix that he had made for the Yang brothers before. As watched, the fatigue seemed to be swept away. Everyone has been busy for a long time. Now, it's almost 2 o'clock, and everyone is taking a rest. A total of 6 dishes and 2 soups were all placed and everyone started eating. It still smells like this. While eating the dishes, everyone was full of praise for Lin Fei's dishes, which actually made Lin Fei feel a little embarrassed. These people really flatter themselves too much. But in the final analysis, Lin Fei is still very confident in his cooking skills. And Ao Much smiled. I guess I will gain weight in the past 21 days. Haha. No. Lin Fei waved his hand repeatedly and pointed at Lin Jia beside him. You ever said that about your own daughter? I saw Lin Jia put down the bowl and chopsticks with a helpless look on her face. Ha. For a moment, burst out laughing. Likewise, the audience in the live broadcast room were all laughing so heartily. Haha, does Lin Fei want to be so funny? Yes, this is obviously a trick to my daughter. Everyone is a trick to their father. Why did everyone change it when they came to Lin Fei? Jia, pick up your bowl, raise your hand and shout directly into Lin Fei's face. Ha. I'm laughing so hard. The atmosphere is really great. I really didn't expect that Lin Fei would be able to have such a good atmosphere with everyone when he came to this program for the first time. It's really enviable. No, today, I was completely made cute by Yang Zixin and Lin Jia. Following the discussion in the live broadcast room, several guests in the restaurant were already eating with gusto. For a moment, the audience couldn't help but feel happy. Fortunately they had lunch beforehand. Otherwise, it would be simply torture to see these people smacking their lips while eating. Everyone. Finally, after eating and drinking enough, Ao Much controlled his food intake. Seeing still eating, Ao Much finally spoke his lips and teeth slightly and spoke. We will start rationing from tonight. There will be a total of 30 tables. As long as the seats are full, we will not accept diners. By then, if there is nothing to eat, there will be no choice but to go to other restaurants. Oh, in an instant, everyone was surprised. They did not expect that Oyumuge would have such an idea. Okay, this method is really good. I think we should arrange it this way. In this way, Brother Lin won't have so much pressure. It's really hot in this kitchen. Zhang Hang naturally agreed to such an arrangement without hesitation. After all, such an arrangement can be said to have relieved a lot of pressure on Lin Fei. For a while, everyone nodded, and many times they thought it was a good idea. Lin Fei, on the other hand, had not waited to express his position. To buy vegetables, Oyumuge and Tang Xiaochu also went to prepare posters for tonight's new regulations. Lin Fei and Lin Jia, on the other hand, really took a rare rest at this time. For Lin Fei, it was really overloaded at noon today. Even though Lin Fei was doing it with ease, the mental drain on using such energy to do this multitasking task was really huge. Another, because they saw it accidentally or heard other people's promotions, everyone felt a little sorry when they saw the rule that only 30 diners were allowed. After all, many people came here because of Lin Fei's cooking skills, but when they saw Lin Fei busy in the kitchen, they stopped talking. After all, Lin Fei is a human being, not a machine. It's finally over. Reluctance. I'm so tired. I exercised more today than I did. Muge wiped the sweat from his forehead with a smile on his face. But, everyone, today, we really made a profit. The net profit is as much as 2,000. How about we continue to eat hot pot tonight? Okay, everyone laughed happily. At 10 o'clock in the evening, everyone was full and exhausted, and they all went back to their rooms to rest. And Lin Fei also received something that surprised him. This was sent by Xiao Bei, and it was the script that Zhang Mao had delivered. Hot-blooded youth, though the name is quite good. However, when Lin Fei opened the first page, he screamed instantly. Fuck. This scream was like a thunderclap. What's going on? Suddenly, Tang Xiaochu and Zhang Hang, who were on the same floor outside, ran out. The two were wearing pajamas, looking confused. Chapter 186, The Powerful Linoop of the new movie. Just when the two of them were confused, at the corner of the stairs, Oyumuge also walked down. At this time, she was wearing a very cartoon pajamas, but she looked childlike. Yeah. I was sleeping soundly, but I woke up. Similarly, behind him, Yang Zixin walked out, her hair slightly messy in a daze. But in this way, with her bare face and pouted mouth, she looked more like a cute doll. Tang Xiaochu shook his head after hearing this. I don't know, but I feel it seems to be Brother Lin's voice. Oh, really? Everyone turned their attention, and all four of them looked at Lin Fei's room. At this time, there was no movement from Lin Fei's side, and everyone was even more confused. What's happening here? And Lin Jia didn't come out either. Didn't these two people hear it? Were they hallucinating? Little did they know that at this time, Lin Jia was in her room, holding her Bao and muttering, Bao, tell me, what good news has Dad encountered again? Is Mom coming back? Meow. I don't know what Bao is talking about. Listening to his cry, Lin Yana smiled and then continued to sleep with Bao in her arms. And this made the other four people confused. I saw that these four people came to the door of Lin Fei's room at this time. The four of them lay down on Lin Fei's door with a tacit understanding, wanting to hear what Lin Fei was doing inside. However, after listening for a long time, I still didn't hear any sound inside. Hey, everyone. Standing up straight, Tang Xiaochu looked at the three of them and frowned. I suspect something happened to Brother Lin. Could that cry just now be asking us for help? In an instant, everyone reacted. Having just woken up from a sweet dream, you may not have thought much about it yet. Now that Tang Xiaochu hears this, it seems that this is really what happened. Could something really happen to Lin Fei, then? What are you waiting for? Knock on the door. With that said, Zhang Hang reacted first, quickly raised his hand, and knocked on the door frantically. Perhaps, it was because everyone was really anxious that Lin Fei shouted from inside, but no one heard him. Dang dang dang. After knocking on the door frantically a few times, they suddenly stopped. As expected, something happened to Brother Lin. Tang Xiaochu frowned at this time, and made such a judgment. Zhang Hang also frowned at this time. What should I do? How about kicking the door? I suspect that brother Lin has fainted in the house. Well, kick the door. Tang Xiaochu made a quick decision. You know, in the immediate period after the accident, every minute and every second will be a life-saving opportunity. Zhang Hang, after hearing such a decision, moderated without hesitation door. Zhang Hang took 2 deep breaths, looked at the door in front of him with burning eyes, and rushed over quickly. Drink. With a loud shout, Zhang Hang raised his right foot high and kicked it quickly. Crunch. Holy shit. As a result, at this moment, the door opened in an instant. Lin Fei appeared at the door at this moment. Lin Fei was stunned when he saw Zhang Hang flying towards him ferociously. Lin Fei uttered a curse word and immediately acted ankle. With a release of force, Lin Fei's right hand shook quickly, directly resisting Zhang Hang's posture. In an instant, Zhang Hang's sprinting force slowed down, and just like that, Lin Fei quickly brought Zhang Hang's feet down. Seeing the confused expressions of the 4 people in front of him, Lin Fei was also confused. Everyone, what are you doing? We want to demolish the house. Are you okay? Tang Xiaochu asked in shock. What? Lin Fei was even more confused. What? Do you mean I'm fine? I'm fine to begin with. Why do you ask that? On the contrary, was confused. Our Muge was the first to speak. Did you yell just now? Lin Fei chuckled and scratched his head. That, damn. It's really your boy, Zhang Hang. Everyone stood up and slapped Lin Fei on the shoulder. Do you know how anxious we were just now? We were afraid that something would happen to you. We knocked on the door and called you, but you didn't answer. Otherwise, I wouldn't have kicked the door down. Did I agree? I just shouted, come on, come on. Lin Fei was a little helpless. Everyone's head is full of black lines co-authored. This is a misunderstanding point, and soon, Zhang Hang hugged Lin Fei. Brother Lin, what were you doing just now? Do you know how worried we were just about you now? Lin Fei smiled helplessly when he heard this. Wait me a moment. After saying that, Lin Fei's eyes moved slightly, and he quickly turned around and returned to the bedroom. Soon, Lin Fei came back with a thick stack of papers in his hand. After seeing such a thing, everyone was a little confused. What is this? Listening, Lin Fei laughed. And Tang Xiaochu, as an actor, is naturally very familiar with this script. Thinking of this, he also hurriedly took the script and just opened the second page. On the first page, it is the name of the play, and on the second page, it is a corresponding participant. As for what happened later, that was not what Tang Xiaochu cared about. As an actor, the script cannot be leaked, and Tang Xiaochu did not participate in the performance, so naturally there was no need to watch the subsequent plot. TSK, hot-blooded boy, this name is really good. What is it about? Tang Xiaochu asked casually. Lin Fei laughed when he heard it. It tells the story of a sprinter, which can be considered a sports-themed movie. Oh, Tang Xiaochu was surprised. This is the first time director Zhang has tried such a theme. In the past, he mostly made action movies and martial arts movies really so strong. Director Zhang is going to do something big. Chapter 187, sign in and then get skills, and the tacit understanding between them. For a moment, everyone came over in confusion, after seeing Tang Xiaochu's surprise, not understanding why Tang Xiaochu was so surprised. However, when everyone saw the list of actors on the second page, they were immediately surprised. Wow, what a wonderful lineup is this? This is so special. Director Zhang must have done a great job this time. Everyone was surprised. On it, the main actors are Lin Fei, Tang Xin, Song Dacheng, Song Ke, Wu Kaiang, Zheng Keifeng, Cheng Cheng, and Zhang Yumeng. Special starring actors are Deng Kairo, Sun Yu, Li Shen, Chen Liangqi, Lin Ya, Wang Yao, Mireng Zhao, He Yun, and Huang Lei. In the back, there are many supporting roles, each of which is basically very influential in the current film and television industry, and many of them are actors who have won the Best Actress and awards. When everyone saw such a lineup on it, they were stunned. This lineup is unprecedentedly strong. These people, basically with their acting skills, can become the leading actors in any movie point, and now many of them are special leading actors. This configuration really makes everyone amazed. Hey, what's going on? Is Jia going too soon? Zhang Hang also found some interesting places and couldn't help asking. Yes, Lin Fei smiled after listening. Jia is going this time too. Otherwise, do you think I can be so happy just now? So, that's it. Now, everyone understands through these 2 days of getting along. Everyone can say that Lin Fei's attitude towards his daughter is very well. This is simply a father who treats his daughter as his own baby. Every day, Lin Fei will agree to whatever his daughter wants to do and will accompany her. Such a performance of spoiling his daughter naturally allows to see Lin Fei's attitude towards her. And when everyone was chatting, they also found that Lin Fei really wanted to accompany his daughter all the time. After all, at such an age, it is time to need fatherly love. At that time, someone also asked Lin Fei where his lover had gone. To this, Lin Fei just smiled and didn't explain too much. This really confused everyone. I didn't understand what happened at all. But now it's good. Lin Fei can be with his daughter by making a new movie, which makes these parents understand his happiness. Hey, okay, I know what happened. I thought something happened. Let's go, let's rest quickly. We still have to open tomorrow. After such a toss, the time came to 11 o'clock in the evening. Zhang Hang looked at the time and hurriedly greeted everyone to prepare to rest. If this toss continues, it's hard to say what time he can get up tomorrow. Watching leave, Lin Fei smiled, happily put away the script, and returned to the room. Lying on the bed, Lin Fei still had a smile on his face at this time. In fact, there are many things these people don't know. Lin Fei was happy, partly because Lin Yao also wanted to shoot a movie with him. There is also a bigger part that Tang Xin will also go. This is good. Lin Fei and Tang Xin can spend a long time together again. Although such a relationship cannot be announced now. But in Lin Fei's opinion, this is enough. Silently, Lin Fei turned off the lights, lay on the bed, with a smile on his face, and finally fell asleep. The next day, everyone got up as usual. However, everyone's face looked a little haggard. After all, yesterday, there was such a large workload suddenly, and for them, they were not able to adapt for a while, felt warm inside, and recovered a little. Today, let's continue with yesterday's method, and receive 30 customers at a time. Then, Lin Fei, you decide. Today is a la carte or a set meal. It's still a set meal, with a combination of meat and vegetables, which is more convenient. Lin Fei thought about it and finally spoke, as for the dishes, how about corn and pork rib soup, potatoes, and beef brisket, and stir-fried seasonal vegetables? Okay, everyone naturally had no objection to this, and whatever the chef said was the truth. And today, since the customer flow was fixed, Lin Fei's grasp of the amount of dishes was very accurate. Soon, the list was prepared, and Tang Xiaochu and Yang Zixin went to the vegetable market with the cameraman. And Lin Fei's side, everyone strolled to the restaurant. The restaurant was cleaned up a little, and now that there were no customers coming, everyone sat on the chairs and was bored. All children, they love to play by nature. Jia, looking at him, Lin Fei spoke softly. Here, Lin. Jia responded obediently, came to Lin Fei's side, hugged her bao and stared at Lin Fei with big eyes. Dad, what's wrong? I'm telling you, after this shoot, we are going to make a movie, and by then, you'll be a little actor. Really? Of course, yeah. Listening to this, Lin Jia immediately danced with joy. Everyone else smiled knowingly. At this time, the live camera hadn't been turned on yet, so only they could enjoy this joy. And time passed by minute. Soon, Tang Xiaochu and the other person came back, and Lin Fei and Zhang Hang also started preparing the dishes. Lin Fei's food was super delicious. I came to try it. Hello, can I get an autograph when I come to eat? I like your food very much. I have read every one of your works. Brother Xiaochu, you are so handsome. As the guests, everyone started to get busy, looking at the orderly outside at this time. Far from the busy scene of yesterday, Lin Fei smiled. Now, is getting more tacit. This is good. Up, do you want to sign in? Sign in, Lin Fei responded subconsciously. but when he heard the voice in his mind, Lin Fei smiled. After so many days, it can be regarded as another skill. Chapter 188, Brother Fei, he looks down on you. Oh. Lin Fei smiled. This skill was quite interesting. Instantly, Lin Fei felt that countless knowledge appeared in his mind. At the same time, he also felt that the coordination between the muscles in his body had become very perfect. Coupled with the previous mastery of body skills, Lin Fei felt that his body seemed to have undergone a qualitative change at this moment. This change surprised him. However, at present, this skill seems to be useless. But it's better to have it than not. That, everyone finished a busy day of business work. After finding a sign, Oyumuge wrote a notice that he would take a break on Wednesday and participate in the Zixi Square Cooking Grand Prix, and then hung it on the door. Seeing that the restaurant had been tidied up for a long time, everyone smiled with satisfaction and returned to their residence. Everyone, tomorrow, we have to cheer for Lin Fei. Championship, everyone ate heartily, and the joy on their faces was mercilessly displayed. Everyone, get up. The next day, early in the morning, at 7 o'clock, Tang Xiaochu came downstairs and greeted loudly, crack, pushing the door open. Lin Fei, who had finished washing, walked down energetically today. Hey, I'm excited, Brother Lin. You are going to participate in the cooking competition today. How can I not be excited? You say, if you win some award, won't we be proud at that time? Tang Xiaochu's face was full of excitement, as if the championship was already in his grasp. I've already thought about it. When the time comes, we'll put a sign at the door. The winner of the Zixi Island Cooking Grand Prix is in our restaurant. You are welcome to come and taste it, but we will only serve 30 portions at each meal. What do you think? Not so good. Lin Fei curled his lips. Isn't this a bit too ostentatious? Besides, who said I will definitely win the championship? There are so many capable people. Maybe I won't even be in the top 3 by then. How could it be? When Tang Xiaochu heard this, he didn't believe what Lin Fei said. Pretending to be angry, Tang Xiaochu spoke. Brother Lin, you can't say this casually. We have to have confidence in ourselves. I have always believed that you will definitely get a good result with your cooking skills. I don't believe that there is anyone better than you. You, Lin Fei was helpless. What he said was really flattering himself. Of course, Lin Fei also understood that this was just encouraging to himself. In fact, Lin Fei didn't know whether he could win the championship next time. He could only look forward to it. I hope I can have a good performance. Thinking of this, Lin Fei was about to go to the kitchen to prepare breakfast. As a result, Tang Xiaochu stopped Lin Fei in a hurry. Brother Lin, what breakfast are you still making? Regain your energy and prepare for the game later. I'll make this breakfast. You make it. Lin Fei was puzzled. Brother Xiaochu, are you sure? Of course. Tang Xiaochu patted his chest with certainty. What? Don't you believe in your brother's ability? Let me tell you, at home, your brother cooks for himself when he has nothing to do. Okay. Lin Fei shrugged his shoulders when he heard it. He was rarely free, and since Tang Xiaochu was said to be able to cook, he couldn't bury his opportunity to show off. Anyway, he didn't have anything to do, so he might as well take a rest. As for what to do in the competition at noon, Lin Fei didn't have much to think about. Gathers at 12 o'clock. The large supermarket behind and the vegetable market in front of the square will be open for free. Everyone can go to these two places to shop for an hour. After shopping, we'll start at 1 o'clock and compete in basic skills for an hour. After that, starting at 2 o'clock, those who successfully break through in front will have the opportunity to enter the final cooking competition. Everyone has only 1 hour in the final competition. Contestants. Finally, the person who successfully gets the highest score will also win the title of the Grand Prix champion. And the champion can get $1 million in prize money. Every year, Zixi Island also holds such events. And such a high prize money naturally attracts many capable chefs from all over the world. However, the cruel and tense competition system naturally eliminates many people unrecognizable. Oyumuge curled his lips. Brother Xiaochu, did you make this? The heat is a little high. Lin Fei, didn't you say you can cook that? Zhang Hang, how about we go out to eat? No, I tell you, even though what I make doesn't look good, it's definitely delicious. As he said that, Tang Xiaochu picked up a piece of what looked like an egg pancake and put it in his mouth. Wow. Let's go out to eat. At 11 o'clock in the morning, after enjoying the beautiful scenery at the beach, Lin Fei and his group finally arrived at Zixi Square Point. At this time, on the square, a group of staff were busy arranging the competition venue here. And behind it, there was a large screen that could broadcast the scenes here at any time. Mr. Tim, Alice smiled. This is our president, Mr. Chris. Hello, Mr. Chris. My name is Lin Fei, and these are all my friends. Hello, Mr. Lin. It's really, President Chris. This person is not also a contestant in this competition, right? I say, isn't your current competition level a bit low? Why do you invite everyone? What kind of cooking skills can a young boy have? Hearing this sudden remark, everyone was stunned. And next to Lin Fei, Yang Zixin said without hesitation, Brother Fei, someone looks down on you. If it were me, I wouldn't be able to stand it. Chapter 189. Want to be respected. Does he deserve it? That's right. This guy is so arrogant. Where is the program team? Don't say this is another program effect arranged by you. I won't believe it this time. Hey, is there a translator? What is he saying? I don't understand. Room of the program. The comments were flying all over the sky. After knowing the hype on the internet, the countless viewers gradually learned about this competition. Everyone knows that Lin Fei will represent the restaurant to participate in such a competition today. And on the official Weibo of the Zixili Island Culinary Alliance, the list of participants in this competition was announced. Really too rich. For everyone, being able to participate in such a program is an opportunity to become famous under high exposure. Among them, there are 3 people from Lango, which can be regarded as showing their faces. However, at present, some people are very unhappy with Lin Fei in this live broadcast. Hearing this, Lin Fei and his group frowned immediately. What does this mean? Look down on people. Everyone didn't expect it to be such a situation. Turning around, I saw a man behind Chris' nose bridge and a standard western face. At this time, the man was also wearing a white casual outfit. As if he was spotless, the man came to Chris's side. Paul, don't be rude. This is a chef from Lango and a well-known star in Lango. Mr. Lin Fei, what kind of words do you say to him? Chris naturally heard this at this time, and his face was a little embarrassed. You know, Lin Fei was invited by me, and what does Paul mean? Look down on Lin Fei, doesn't that mean he also looks down on me? For a moment, Chris really felt a little angry, but Paul obviously didn't have such words. Why? President Chris, where is he from? What does it have to do with me? Don't forget, our game today is not a talent show. Is a star coming here to be a clown? As Paul's voice fell, the barrage of the entire live broadcast was boiling again. Fuck. This man is so arrogant. Yeah. How much does he look down on our Lin Fei? What? Does he think he's good enough again? By the way, I know about this Paul. It is said that he was the champion of last year's cooking competition. This guy is quite capable. What's wrong with being quite capable? To watch the live broadcast without subtitles, right? Of course, everyone didn't know about the barrage in the live broadcast room. However, this did not affect the anger of several people at all. Looking at Paul, Zhang Hang beside him was about to rush forward. What Paul said was the eagle language, and Zhang Hang could still understand it. In this way, this man actually looked down on Lin Fei. How could Zhang Hang and others tolerate it? Brother Hang. Seeing Zhang Hang walking by and about to rush forward, Lin Fei quickly stretched out his hand and grabbed him directly. Laughing, Lin Fei looked at the puzzled Zhang Hang and shook his head. Brother Hang, why should we argue with him? Such a person. After all, he is probably just a clown. Brother Lin, he looks down on you. Can you tolerate it? Why not? After all, it's live broadcast. Lin Fei smiled. Soon, the live broadcast room burst into laughter. Lin Fei, what you said is meaningful. What does it mean? Can't you tolerate it if it's not live broadcast? Oh my god, I'm really curious about what Lin Fei will do now. Where Is the program team? Turn off the broadcast quickly. I really want Lin Fei to fight back. If I don't fight back, I can't bear it. As if seeing's barrage, Liu Lei quickly ordered everyone to directly close the live broadcast channel frantically. Instead, the audience who just came in was confused. Hey? There is no live broadcast here. What are you talking about here? For a while, crazy barrages were brushed. Everyone was supporting Lin Fei. Although everyone did not come to the scene, it was as if they were there at this time, and they were all contributing their own strength. Ding. Muge smiled helplessly. Director, Liu really knows how to make trouble with us. As he said that, Muge came to Lin Fei and told Lin Fei the message displayed on the phone. Zhao Fei, Director Liu has closed the live broadcast channel. Puff. Lin Fei laughed immediately. This is so special. Do you have to take care of yourself like this? But this is good. Lin Fei couldn't help it a long time ago. Dad, did this person say something bad about you? Although I don't understand, I can see it. Hearing Lin Yao shout, feeling that she grabbed the corner of his clothes. Lin Fei smiled, raised his hand to touch Lin Yao, and the former spoke. Yeah, go to your aunt Ou to play. Oh, okay. Although she didn't know what Lin Fei was going to do, Lin Yao still did it. Mr. Lin. Seeing the change in the situation on the field, the cameraman behind Lin Fei also put down the camera at this time to watch the excitement. Alice is not a fool. She was able to hear the words of Lango, and an ominous premonition was slowly rising in her heart. Coming to Lin Fei's side, Alice hurriedly spoke. Mr. Lin, don't do anything stupid. This Paul is like this, arrogant. Don't worry, how could it be? Lin Fei sneered. But if a person who doesn't respect others wants to be respected, he should also consider whether he deserves it. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 190. You look like a fool. You bite everyone you see. After saying that, Lin Fei suddenly raised his head, and his eyes instantly locked onto Paul in front of him. What? Are you dissatisfied? Do you think what I said is wrong? When Paul was looked at by Lin Fei, he immediately felt that there was a kind of teasing look in Lin Fei's eyes. For a moment, he also felt that his self-esteem seemed to have been hit. This Lin Fei dared to despise him so much. As the winner of the last Grand Prix, how could Paul accept such a thing? So, Paul moved. Taking a step, Paul walked towards Lin Fei. He was also 1.88 meters tall, and he was the same height as Lin Fei. Paul, what are you going to do? Mr. Lin, you. Swish. Seeing the situation on the field change, Chris behind immediately he stepped forward to organize. As a result, Paul and Lin Fei raised their hands at the same time to stop Chris. Now, it has become a contest between two people. Paul looked down on others, and Lin Fei took it lightly. No one knows what the outcome of this battle will be. Soon, he took a step and came to Lin Fei with a provocative look in his eyes and a slight movement of his lips. Boy, I'm talking to you. You are very dissatisfied? Do you know who I am? I don't want to know. Lin Fei answered in the same eagle language, and the momentum on his body did not weaken at all. Ha. Hearing this, Paul laughed. Then, you really don't know. He didn't expect that Lin Fei would say such a thing. After a long time, Paul finally spoke. Boy, you are very arrogant. Really? I don't think so. But you, our dragon country has a saying to describe you, which is really appropriate. What is it? Paul asked hurriedly. Do you want to know? Lin Fei frowned, but he was smiling in his heart. Of course I want to know. Tell me, what is it? Do you really want to know? Lin Fei asked uncertainly again. Damn, are you going to tell me or not? Paul was a little unhappy. Okay, I'll tell you. Lin Fei spread his hands, looked at Paul, and spoke word by word. That sentences. You look like a fool. You bite whoever you see. Puff. Instantly, as soon as Lin Fei's words came out, Zhang Hang and others around him laughed, and Alice and the cameraman behind him laughed at the same time. Because Lin Fei's words were spoken in Dragon Country's language. Who could have thought that Lin Fei would say such a thing in the end? Do you want to bully people who don't understand Langol language? Everyone looked so funny at this time. You want to laugh, but you feel a little disrespectful. But don't laugh. Lin Fei's words are quite reasonable. After thinking about it, Lin Fei said that if Paul doesn't respect himself, why should respect him? As a result, Paul suffered. Looking at the people in front of him trying to hold everyone back their laughter, he asked with some doubts, "What are you talking about? Why are you all laughing?" Huh? Nothing. Why these people were laughing. As a result, Lin Fei spoke. Haha, it's nothing, because what I just said is that there is something wrong with your brain. You bite whoever you see, like a dog. Hiss. Suddenly, everyone was stunned. Everyone looked at Lin Fei in disbelief, was thinking, since he was going to curse someone, why not let them know he had to curse in front of them? That would be satisfying. But Paul was not like that. Looking at Lin Fei, Paul was furious and yelled loudly, "Damn it, Kit, you dare to curse me? I'm 35 years old, and no one has ever dared to curse me until now. I think you are itching for trouble." Nothing. What? In an instant, Paul's eyes widened. "Brother, Lin, that's enough. Don't fight again." Zhang Hang came to Lin Fei and pulled the corner of Lin Fei's clothes to stop Lin Fei. Zhang Hang understood the situation. Lin Fei had no intention of letting Paul take advantage of him. When cursing, he was even more merciless, but if this happens, it will be difficult to end it later because of the noise here. Paul's loud voice also attracted the attention of some people around. At this time, the people around gathered around, and everyone pointed and talked without knowing the truth. I don't know what happened. However, Lin Fei still heard some words. Who is this person? Why did he quarrel with Paul? Yes. Rose knows that Paul is famous for bullying others, especially after winning the championship last year. His status has everyone, and he really looks down on everyone he sees. Fighting, won't it hurt you? Hearing the discussions of the people around him, Lin Fei laughed. So, Paul doesn't have a good relationship with people. Quick step forward, raised his right fist high, and was about to hit Lin Fei in the face. Although Paul was not that burly, his powerful and heavy appearance still made a sound. If this fist hit Lin Fei in the face, it would be a sin. For a moment, it seemed to have forgotten to breathe. On the contrary, Lin Yao was extremely calm at this time. Because, bang, a very dull sound rang out, and Paul flew out and fell to the ground. Chapter 191, Scared away by tying shoelaces? Damn. Do you really think that my big body is for nothing? Lin Fei curled his lips, put his hands in his pockets, and looked at Paul, who fell to the ground calmly. The people behind him saw the changing situation so quickly at this time, and they didn't react for a while. This is so fierce, Lin Fei. Instead, Lin Yao laughed. Uncles and aunts, why are you so nervous? Let me tell you, my dad knows Kung Fu. Some time ago, my dad also participated in the martial arts movie directed by Zhang Mao. Have you seen it? If you haven't seen it, you have to go and see it. My dad's acting skills are great. Everyone was speechless and reacted for a while. Yes, this Lin Fei seems to really know Kung Fu. Because before, when the movie Jiang Ho was released, everyone went to watch such a movie. The overall plot and performance of the movie have already amazed everyone. And at the end, when Lin Fei appeared, his acting skills and strong aura instantly conquered. Later, everyone saw Lin Fei's extremely tense martial arts performance. At that time, everyone was surprised to say that Zhang Mao really worked hard for this shot. Maybe just such a fighting shot must have been rehearsed for a long time. After everyone, the fluency of the whole fight really made these actors feel the power of it. But, a few days later, Zhang Mao posted a Weibo. The Weibo claimed that there was no rehearsal at all for the last shot of this movie. It can even be said that from Lin Fei's appearance to the end, it was a one-shot shot, but it was just a transition between shots in various directions. In this, there was no NG at all. It was a completely smooth and flowing set. In the Weibo, Zhang Mao did not hesitate to praise Lin Fei. That Weibo post even set off a hot search and became well known. Similarly, Tang Xiaochu and others, as people in the entertainment industry, naturally saw such a Weibo post. At that time, everyone's surprise had long been unable to be concealed. But when I think back, I always feel that this is not a true story, and naturally no one went to verify it. If you ask, wouldn't it be a disgrace to Zhang Mao? But now it seems, it's true. Damn it. How dare you fight back? Da da da. Looking at the field again, I saw Paul stood up instantly. Looking at Lin Fei, Paul gritted his teeth and was very angry. Waving his fist again, Paul rushed over quickly. Seeing Paul rushing over quickly over this time, the people behind him were not so surprised. Everyone was thinking about how Lin Fei would solve it this time. After all, no one understood Lin Fei's counterattack just now, and soon understood. I saw that Paul's target of the punch was everyone still Lin Fei's head. He came close quickly and saw that the fist was about to hit Lin Fei's head. Lin Fei moved. He leaned forward and dodged Paul's fist. Then, Lin Fei's left shoulder pushed forward and hit Paul's chest directly. Under the gaze of everyone found that Lin Fei's shoulders seemed to swing back and forth quickly. It was as if Paul's chest pressed on Lin Fei's left shoulder, and then Lin Fei fell back because of the force. And then, Lin Fei pushed forward quickly again. In this way, Paul retreated several steps back again, and his body was unstable, and he fell directly to the ground. Is this Dragon Country Kung Fu? Is this Dragon Country Kung Fu too strong? Even without using hands, using your shoulders, can Paul be unable to attack? Mysterious. Dragon Country Kung Fu. I didn't expect that I could see it today. Do you think he would agree if I went to become his disciple? What are you thinking? I heard that Dragon Country Kung Fu must be practiced from a young age. You are already over 30 years old. Don't count on it. Listening to everyone's discussion, Lin Fei smiled helplessly. These people are really interesting. Looking at Paul, Lin Fei smiled. Hey, you saw it. My hands didn't move. How can you say I did it? I'm going to kill you. Paul was furious, and the anger in his heart had long been unable to be concealed. Standing up quickly, Paul accumulated strength and rushed towards Lin Fei with bloodshot eyes. Cough. As a result, Lin Fei coughed heavily and raised his left foot forward. Suddenly, Paul was frightened. When he saw this, he subconsciously stepped back and turned to run. He realized that Lin Fei was really too strong. Dragon Country Kung Fu. So fierce. However, Lin Fei bent his left leg at this time, and seeing that the shoelaces of his shoes were untied, he quickly tied them up. When he finished tying his shoelaces, Lin Fei raised his head and spoke in a pretense of confusion. Where are the others? The people around him laughed instantly. This Lin Fei is so interesting. But then Paul, is he a little too cowardly? Brother Lin, what a cowhide. Behind him, Zhang Hang reacted quickly, came closer and patted Lin Fei on the shoulder. You're so good at making a fuss here and there. You were originally going to make a move, but Paul was frightened and ran away. Haha. It really made me laugh to death. I really just need to tie my shoelaces. Well, everyone was stunned for a moment, and then burst into laughter. Pop. At this moment, no one knew who was taking the lead. People around him burst into applause, which made Lin Fei feel a little embarrassed. Chris, at this time, also clapped his hands and came closer. Mr. Lin, you come from the mysterious East. Today, you really opened my eyes. Haha, what did Mr. Chris say? By the way, with that said, Lin Fei looked at his watch. Mr. Chris, you'd better prepare for the competition as soon as possible. It's already 11:30. Upon hearing this, Chris looked at the time and his expression changed drastically. Alice, hurry up, arrange for all contestants and audience judges to be in place immediately. Our competition is about to begin. With that said, Chris quickly left with Alice. Lin Fei and the others naturally smiled and began to look for their seats. A storm, an EMS, a provocation can be resolved without spending a single soldier. Live broadcast, open again. Chapter 192. Why don't you go to the market to buy ingredients? Yes. Where is the person? I'm really curious now. Where did this person go? I'm still waiting to see the result of Lin Fei's successful counterattack. Although the process cannot be broadcast live, we must see the result. Right, program. Team, what is the result? Just now, from beginning to end. It took a total of 10 minutes. I think, from the smiles on Lin Fei's faces, we can see that the matter has been resolved. Isn't the nonsense above? How can we not know that the matter has been resolved? If it is not resolved, can they still laugh? Alas, what is the result? Could it be that Paul was taken away by the hospital? That would be great. The live broadcast room was just opened, and the audience who had been waiting in the live broadcast room for a long time suddenly boiled. Such a thing. Point looking at Lin Fei again. At this time, he took over his position in this competition from Alice. There are many temporary tables on the square. On them, all kinds of knives and neat cutting boards are on them. Lin Fei looked at his number plate, which showed his location and his name. Number 7. Seeing such a number, Lin Fei smiled. 7 is his lucky number. Although sometimes luck is really a metaphysics, Lin Fei still likes it. Mr. Lin, we have arranged seats in the front for you. Seats in front of us. I will take your friends there now. Oh. Hearing this, Lin Fei smiled immediately. And Tang Xiaochu said a little embarrassedly at this time. Isn't this not good? What's the matter? Alice smiled when she heard it knowingly when they heard it. This is really interesting. But it's okay. After all, everyone pays great attention to their personal image. The sun is really too strong today. If you really get tanned, it will be a loss. But this is hard for the cameraman of the program group. Looking at Tang Xiaochu and others sitting under the huge parasol, while they still have to bask in the sun, they feel so wronged for a while. Mr. Lin, it's almost time. I'll go over there first. You can watch it later. We will gather at 12 o'clock sharp. That is, go to the platform in front of the big screen. Okay. That Alice left. And Lin Fei, after chatting with a few people casually for a while, looked at the time and walked towards the front of the square. Turning his head, he looked around. At this time, the place was already full of spectators. The staff on the scene were also working hard to adjust the order on the scene. Looking at so many people, Lin Fei curled his lips. I don't know why. Why am I still a little nervous? And such a grand scene is understandable. Zixili Island, as a beautiful place, will naturally attract many tourists. And some local organizations, in order to increase their popularity, often organize various interesting activities. Among them, some use money to attract, and some use all kinds of fancy things to attract. Obviously, this cooking competition belongs to the former. Wow. Is that Lin Fei? Oh my god, I didn't expect to meet Lin Fei in this place. What kind of luck is this? Lin Fei, I like it so much. Look at me. I want to take a picture of you. Take a picture of your sister. Lin Fei's eyebrows jumped, and his head was full of black lines. Damn, these people just want to watch the fun. I'm a little nervous now, and they are still doing this in the end. Lin Fei has too little experience in such scenes. It is something that Lin Fei did not expect to be like this now. As the saying goes, development is not as fast as change. Isn't it unexpected for Lin Fei to participate in such a program? Ding. Do you want to sign in? Sign in. Listening to the money reward in his mind again, Lin Fei curled his lips. His recent luck may not be very good. I don't know if this kind of luck can win the championship of this Grand Prix. It's not for money, but for fame. Isn't this what Lin Fei needs? Ahem. Finally, Lin Fei came to the front of the stage, and a temporary stage was built in front of the big screen. Chris came here at this time, coughed twice and spoke. Dear audience and friends, as well as chef contestants and media friends who came to participate in this competition. Welcome everyone to participate in this cooking Grand Prix. I am Chris, the president of the Chefs Union of Zixili Island. Today's weather is a bit hot, so I won't waste any more words. Let's get started. From now on, all chefs can go to the supermarket behind me, or the vegetable market opposite to buy ingredients. At 2 o'clock, we will start the competition on time. Of course, the ingredients of the chefs who did not advance in the first round will also be returned. At the same time, all the amounts involved in your purchases will be borne by our association. Now, please choose to purchase ingredients by yourself. The deadline is 12:55. We will tell you in advance at that time. Let's go. Hooah. La la. As Chris's voice fell, everyone started to move. And Lin Fei stood in place. Seeing that these people were walking towards the large supermarket in front of them, no one went to the vegetable market. What's going on? Lin Fei was helpless. Damn, why do they all like to go to the large supermarket with high-end ingredients? Is this necessary? Thinking about it, Lin Fei turned around and walked slowly towards the vegetable market in the distance. Such a lonely back figure caused an uproar at the scene. Obviously, the audience and the staff at the scene did not expect Lin Fei to go to the vegetable market. Chapter 193, Promotion Competition, Carving. Beside the big screen, Chris came here and took a sip of cold water before he reacted. Yes, Alice, who was standing next to him, spoke. But it was Mr. Lin Fei who went to the vegetable market alone, which surprised me a little. Oh, Chris just finished speaking and stepped down, but he didn't notice where everyone was going. Hearing this, he couldn't help but be surprised. This Mr. Lin really gave me too many surprises. Wait and see. At 2 o'clock, I will know what he is planning. Mr. Chris, what did you say? Are you sure that Mr. Lin can enter the finals? Of course. Chris smiled confidently. If this kind of strength can't get in, who else can? I believe in my vision. Why did Brother Lin go to the vegetable market? There are a lot of high-end ingredients in the supermarket opposite. Zhang Hang looked at Lin Fei and entered the vegetable market on his own and couldn't help but feel helpless beside him. Tang Xiaochu thought for a moment and spoke. Maybe Brother Lin is planning to go back later. It's possible. Everyone thinks that there is such a possibility. As a result, it was not until the end of the procurement process that Lin Fei came out of the vegetable market. At this time, Tang Xiaochu and others were a little confused. What is Lin Fei going to do? Everyone, thank you for your patience in waiting under the scorching sun day. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, all the participating chefs had rushed back. Everyone's hands were full of pots and pans. Those fancy ingredients, under the close-up, also dazzled the audience on the scene. Hey, how come Brother Lin brought back such a bag of ingredients? Yes, what's in this bag? Why can't I see it at all? In the audience, Tang Xiaochu and others sitting in the front row saw that Lin Fei brought back only a big bag on the table number 7 in front, and they were a little confused. Didn't understand why Lin Fei only brought back one bag of things. Everyone else's bags had 2 or 3 bags. There were all kinds of luxurious materials in them. On the contrary, Lin Fei couldn't see what was there, even if he wanted to. Soon, Chris spoke again. Now, it's already 1 o'clock in the afternoon. From now on, we will officially enter a 2-hour intense competition. First of all, let me briefly talk about our first stage, which is our final promotion match. Food. Of course, the viewing degree of a food also indirectly affects the customer's experience. So, today, we have only 2 items in the promotion match. The first is carving, and the second is knife skills. Oh, as soon as this was said, the audience at the scene were confused. Aren't carving and knife skills the same? Hearing everyone's doubts, Chris smiled and then spoke. Everyone, you may still have a lot of doubts. Aren't these 2 projects the same? Actually, they are not. First of all, the knives used in the 2 are different. Secondly, the chef's skills tested are also different. I won't talk about the specific details, so as not to waste your time. Next, let me tell you the rules of the competition. First of all, we are going to compete in carving. We will give 3 carrots to each of the 67 chefs on site, and we have prepared all the knives. All the knives were purchased in the 1 hour just now. We also have professional personnel to conduct a final inspection of all your knives. All the equipment has no problems, which also guarantees your absolute fairness. When Chris said this, he saw that several people looked abnormal at this time. Seeing this, Chris sneered. How could he not know the little thoughts of these people? Didn't he do this just to break their thoughts? Now it is obviously right. Thinking about it, Chris spoke again. Next, you will have 25 minutes of carving. This is not only a test of your carving skills, but also a test of your timing and precision. After 20 minutes, professional judges will score works within 10 minutes. After that, we will start the knife skills competition at 1:40. The knife skills competition only lasts 10 minutes. You will slice a piece of beef competition. After speaking, Chris left here. The referee of this competition also came to the stage. Looking at the chefs and the audience, the referee spoke. Everyone, take your positions. Now, I declare that the first round of the competition, the carving competition, will begin. As he spoke, the staff on the scene began to go on stage and began to distribute 3 carrots of similar size to everyone. Under the stage, Chris looked at Lin Fei's position and a black bag beside him. Did Mr. Lin buy this? I don't know. I can't see inside. President Chris, do you want me to arrange someone to go over and give a close-up? Forget it, Chris waved his hand. Let's wait and see. But I'm full of expectations for this. After all, in previous competitions, the players from Dragon Country have always been able to bring me a lot of new ideas. This time, I think it will surprise me, right? I think it should. As the two talked, all the materials for everyone were distributed. Next, the timer starts. As the referee spoke, everyone started to get busy. And Lin Fei, at this time, also looked at the knife rack in front of him and directly selected the most delicate carving knife point. Just as he was about to start cutting, he heard a voice from the side. HMPH. You clown, you don't know how high the sky is or how deep the earth is. Today, I will let you know what is a pinnacle of cooking. Why do you talk so much trash? Lin Fei curled his lips. No need to guess. This guy, Paul. Chapter 194. Don't cry for a while. I don't know whether it was Chris's special arrangement or whether it had been prepared long ago. Lin Fei's position was number 7, while Paul was number 6. You. Looking at Paul again, he was about to curse after hearing Lin Fei's words. But soon, Paul held back. He knew that there was a camera in front of him. He was now seen by the audience, so he had to be more gentlemanly. With a sneer on his face, Paul picked up a carving knife with great momentum, and his voice was also speaking calmly. Lin Fei, now, I'll give you a chance to talk trash. If you are kicked out later, you won't have such a chance. You're so slow, just like an old lady. Lin Fei muttered, and then he set his target on the carrot in his hand again. You. Paul suddenly smiled that he lowered his head and began to deal with it seriously. Oh my god, Paul, is he still thinking about trash talking now? Oh my god, doesn't Paul know how good Lin Fei's cooking is? That's right, he doesn't know how high the sky is and how deep the earth is? I think it's probably Paul, right? Dare to challenge Lin Fei? Who gave him the courage? Lin Fei, you have to work hard. We are very optimistic about you. Everyone, don't flatter Lin Fei here. Watch it carefully. Hey, what is Lin Fei doing? As the conversation and the barrage continued, noticed that Lin Fei was different. At this time, Lin Fei began to process the radish with the carving knife in his hand, either deep or shallow. However, with each cut, there was no radish wasted or what he is doing now. Yes, what is Lin Fei doing? I say, do you have any good cooking skills? Can you tell me what Lin Fei is doing? I am a chef. To be honest, I don't understand. The chef upstairs. Are you kidding me? You don't understand this. The person upstairs. Do you understand? No, I don't understand it either. What's wrong? Am I proud? Am I proud? Suddenly, the entire barrage fell silent. After a few seconds, the same sentence burst out on the barrage. I have never seen such a shameless person in my life. The barrage was lively. After all, came here for fun. And if Lin Fei really won such a game today, then there is no need to say anything. As for losing, it doesn't matter to them. After all, Lin Fei is an actor and a singer. Even if he is not very good at cooking, so what? For a chef, this radish carving is actually the most important level to test his carving skills. After all, what kind of things you can show with a radish depends entirely on your imagination. This is a competition, and it is impossible to make any effect pictures for you. However, no one can understand Lin Fei's knife by knife work. Even if the cameraman gave a close-up, no one can understand it. Tang's eye at you. What is brother Lin doing? Here and there. Why do I always feel that it is messing around? Yang Zixin, I'm already a little dazzled. Didn't you notice? Brother Fen's knife by knife speed is really too fast. Well, Zhang Hang and Oumuge nodded. Oumuge looked at Zhang Hang. Zhang Hang, do you know what Zhao Fei is going to do? How can I know? Zhang Hang pouted. You, because my father has done it for me before. Huh. Everyone was confused. Point at the same time, a big stone in their hearts finally fell to the ground. Point. As long as it can prove that Lin Fei is not messing around this time, that's enough. Point. But when Lin Fei put down the radish in his hand 10 minutes later and started to work on the second radish, everyone panicked again. Point. The carving is broken. Tang Xiaochu and others all had this idea in their hearts. After all, they would never believe that a radish could be carved in 10 minutes. That is to say, looking at the time, became nervous. There are still 15 minutes left. Lin Fei, can he do it? 8 minutes later, Lin Fei put the radish down again. Tang Xiaochu and others suddenly widened their eyes. Everyone looked at Lin Fei in disbelief. Point. It's over. Now, there is absolutely no time left. Now, what is brother Lin doing? Why did he make 2 mistakes? Zhang Hang sighed. Alas, it seems that we came here for nothing today. I guess we can go back soon. Brother Lin is really something. Why does he have to do all these fancy things? Alas. The people around him also sighed. Yang Zixin, who had clenched his fists nervously, loosened them as if he had given up. The results are no longer important. At least, they are not the results of their restaurant. Why are you so nervous? Who said my dad will definitely lose? Lin Yaya said in a baby voice. Zhang Hang turned around and looked at Lin Yaya. Yeah, what do you know? Tell your uncle. Okay. I don't. I won't tell you. My dad once said that the more curious you are, the more effective it will be. Listening to Lin Yaya's old-fashioned words, everyone was frowning. And just like that, the last 7 minutes passed in a flash. Listening to the referee's words, Lin Fei put down the radish and carving knife in his hand. Letting out a long sigh, Lin Fei wiped the sweat from his forehead. God knows how much mental and physical energy Lin Fei had consumed just now with his high concentration. But, haha. Lin Fei, what are you doing? Are you here to sunbathe? Your 3 radishes are not carved at all. Are you kidding me? I thought you were such a powerful person, but it turns out that you are just a piece of trash. Listening to Paul's words, Lin Fei suddenly laughed. Grinning, Lin Fei spoke. Remember what you said now. Don't cry later. Chapter 195. I have already prepared my emotions, so I will skip this. After hearing Lin Fei's words, Paul laughed immediately. What? Are you telling me? Don't cry later? Lin Fei, you are probably teasing me, right? Do you know what you are saying now? And looked at Tang Xiaochu and the others watching from the audience, smiled and waved his hand. He could see that these people were all confused at this moment. This was understandable. After all, what he was doing now, except for his daughter, no one could really understand. And looking at Lin Yaya again, she was playing happily with her Bayo at this moment, which made Lin Fei feel helpless but couldn't figure it out. You don't want to see it. Beside him, Paul was still talking to himself. I'm really curious, how did someone like you come to participate in this competition? You are arrogant and ignorant. Okay, since you don't want to watch, I'll let you know what it means to be the first. After that, Paul stopped talking, with his hands behind his back, smiling very confidently. It must be said that Paul's action attracted many people to exclaim he is handsome, and with such confidence at this time, he looks even more unique. Little did he know that Lin Fei had already laughed in his heart. This Paul is really a frog in the well. Alice. Seeing that all the chefs had put away their tools, the carved works were already in front of them. Chris called Alice. Alice was a little confused. You sure you want to do this? Mr. Lin doesn't have any work. The 3 carrots are now intact. How can there be any work for others to judge? If you ask me, I will arrange someone to secretly find a name to take away Mr. Lin's work. In this way, Mr. Lin's face can also be saved. Alice thought very thoroughly at this time. After all, no matter what, Lin Fei doesn't have any work at all now. As a result, Chris waved his hand. Just do what I say. As for why, you will know later. Okay, no. matter what. As a subordinate, Alice still has to respect Chris's decision. Soon, she told the referee the same news as expected. The two people had the same expression at this time, and they didn't understand why Chris made such a decision at all. But after seeing Chris's expression, as if he saw through everything, the two had no choice but to agree. Similarly, the live broadcast room of a restaurant was also full of doubts at this time. What is Lin Fei going to do? I didn't understand it from beginning to end. You didn't understand? As a cook, I didn't understand it either. What is Lin Fei planning? Everyone, do you think it's possible that Lin Fei is ready to admit defeat? Does he think everyone is too strong? Shut up, you upstairs. Have you forgotten the phoenix that Lin Fei carved on the first day? Yes, that phoenix is really lifelike. And, did you notice? Lin Fei's expression is really confident. Hiss. What you said upstairs is really like this. This Lin Fei obviously has no works. Why is he laughing like this now? At this time, the audience in the barrage all discovered such a situation. Lin Fei's indifferent smile clearly showed that he was fearless. What happened? Could it be that Lin Fei was really fearless? Or was there something else going on? At present, no one could explain all this. And finally, the referee spoke. Next, please ask our 10 judges to start scoring. We will start with number 67. As the referee spoke, the cameraman on the scene began to close up everyone's works little by little. Everyone's works appeared on the big screen one after another. The judges also began to score one after another. One person will have 10 rights, and the highest score is only 100 points. Similarly, Lin Fei also looked at them one by one, very spirited at this time. With the movement of the carving knife, each lifelike expression is also revealed. And these people, of course, got high scores of more than 90 points. Of course, there are still some people who failed, and finally they can only get a consolation score of 60 points. Wow. Soon, the judges came to Paul, and when Paul's work appeared on the big screen, the audience was surprised. This Paul actually carved out a small house in such a short time. This house adopts a European style, and the various windows on the house look very neat. Moreover, the whole house is very small. As the saying goes, the smaller the things, the more they can show a person's macro carving skills. Okay, the judges have scored, and Paul's score is 95 points. Wow. The scene was boiling again. After all, Paul's score, at present, is the highest. Humph. Soon, Paul saw his score, turned around, and looked at Lin Fei very indifferently. Boy, it's not too late to admit defeat now. Do you still expect to win the judges' sympathy by showing 3 carrots without any carvings? Really, Lin Fei smiled, and when he saw the judges approaching, he stretched out his hand to pick up the carrots in front of him. The result. Next, please ask the judges to score contestant number 6, Lin Fei was stunned when he saw the judges walking past him. Damn it, he had already prepared his emotions, but he skipped it. Chapter 196, A Shake and a Butterfly. You thought it was over. Tang Xiaochu was confused for a moment after hearing what the referee said. Beside him, Yang Zixin also nodded. Yes. Do you think this is a conspiracy? What conspiracy? Oh, Yumuj expressed doubts. She didn't understand the whole thing, and at the same time, she was even more confused about why the referee asked number 6 to score first. I just saw that Lin Fei was about to take action. Why did he suddenly skip it? But we can be sure that Lin Fei definitely has a work. Otherwise, how could this be possible? What is the official of this competition going to do? I can't understand it now. Oh, I'm getting more and more curious now. Did Lin Fei give up because of failure, or is he really confident? For a while, the barrage also started to discuss frantically. Lin Fei was also confused. It's over. The feelings were brewed in vain. Lin Fei curled his lips. Turning his head, Lin Fei soon saw Chris with a faint smile in the distance and frowned. The meaning in his eyes was very clear. Lin Fei wanted to ask what Chris was thinking, but he saw that Chris smiled and waved his hand without directly responding to Lin Fei's question. Seeing this, Lin Fei curled his lips helplessly. Of this event also knows that you are useless. Lin Fei, do you know why they skipped you? They planned to see you last. Because in this way, everyone can see your incompetence. I guess Chris regrets inviting you now. He is really blind. Why would he invite a waste like you? Alas. Listening to Paul's words, Lin Fei sighed. What? Why are you sighing? Do you think what I said is wrong? What should I say? Lin Fei curled his lips. I don't understand. It seems that there is really no conflict between the two of us, and you are just jealous because I'm more handsome and younger than you. I don't understand either. Why do you want to make trouble so recklessly? Won't you feel uncomfortable when you get slapped in the face? Slapped in the face? Haha, Paul laughed. Ah, you going to slap me in the face? This joke is really too funny. Do you have the ability to do it? Finally, please ask the judges to score our contestant number 7. As Paul's voice sounded, the voice of the referee sounded. Finally, it was Lin Fei's turn. Seeing the judges coming, Lin Fei smiled. His expression was extremely relaxed. Such a smile, the strong confidence in it, was also seen by a kind of fans. Ah, Lin Fei, you are so handsome. I just love you so much. Lin Fei, I love you. Listening to the hoarse shouts of several fans in the audience around the square, Lin Fei almost stumbled and fell. Point awesome. What a voice. It would be a pity if he didn't become the spokesperson of the loudspeaker. What? Why don't you show it? Haha, just show 3 bear carrots. It's so funny. Swish, just. When Paul was still mocking him, Lin Fei moved. Wow. Instantly, the whole audience was boiling. All the audience, including the chefs, went from watching the show to being shocked now. The whole audience, without exception, stared with their eyes wide open, looking at it in disbelief. And except for Lin Fei, everyone who was standing stood up. Everyone was shocked. I saw that Lin Fei picked up the carrot in front, and his hand shook, and in an instant, the outer skin of the whole carrot fell off, as if it was peeled off. Layer after layer of skin fell off, and the radish in Lin Fei's hand finally revealed its true face at this time. This is a butterfly. Everyone's mind was so shocked that they seemed to have forgotten to think. It was a tree, with countless branches and even new buds on it. Next to the tree trunk, a butterfly was spreading its wings, and it seemed to be suspended in the air by connecting with the radish. And the radish skin that had just fallen around was scattered on the table. Everyone looked at it at this time, and there was only one feeling in their hearts. This thing looks like a bumpy ground. A shake to become a butterfly. Looking at the scene in front of Lin Fei, Oyumuj was amazed for a long time, and finally said such a sentence. She felt that there might really be no words to describe it. This Lin Fei. How did he do it? Everyone was already shocked. At this time, Zhang Han quickly turned his head and looked at Lin Fei. Everyone beside him just now. Instead, shame on you. Damn, is this a magic trick? How did this happen? Oh my god, am I dazzled? How did Lin Fei do this? How is this possible? Done. Among them, the most difficult part is how could Lin Fei grasp the position and strength so accurately? Impossible. This is absolutely impossible. Beside Lin Fei, Paul suddenly shouted. He looked at Lin Fei's magic-like performance just now and couldn't accept such a fact. Paul had never seen such a carving method and unfolding method before. Next. Wait. At this moment, the referee finally showed up from his shock and was about to ask the judges to score. Lin Fei interrupted him, looking at the shocked Paul and then at the shocked and puzzled judges in front of him. Lin Fei smiled. What's the hurry? Do you think it's over? If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 197. Playful Children. Absolute Suppression. Instantly, the judges were stunned. What does Lin Fei mean by this? Is it not over yet? You know, such a work display has already surprised them. Does Lin Fei have any other works? For a moment, everyone focused their attention on the other 2 radishes on the side. Instantly, everyone was shocked. No way, no way. Could it be that Lin Fei carved other radishes? Radish increase in the future. Again, this radish has become so expensive that I can't afford it. No more. I'm going to buy radishes. I have a hunch that after this matter is over, the price of radishes will increase. In the entire barrage, everyone laughed. But no one noticed that a new topic had just been posted on Weibo. Buy radishes, learn carving, learn from Lin Fei. What do you mean, Paul? Beside Lin Fei was stunned and asked subconsciously. Hearing this, Lin Fei chuckled. What do you mean? Just watch. While speaking, Lin Fei carefully picked up the 2 radishes next to him and hung them next to the radish tree in front of him. The whole audience was extremely quiet and everyone was waiting for Lin Fei's next move. At this moment, Lin Fei smiled, the corners of his mouth raised, drawing a beautiful arc. In an instant, the audience saw such a smile, especially the female audience, who seemed to feel breathing their stagnate. So handsome. How could there be such a handsome man in the world? How could there be such a healing smile? This man is really handsome. Damn, Lin Fei's smile is so handsome. Mom, I'm in love. Hurry up and prepare the gift. You already have a granddaughter. I'll go and propose marriage right away. Ah. No, Lin Fei's smile makes me feel like I'm going to die. I want to die in Lin Fei's arms. Lin Fei naturally didn't know about the madness in the barrage. At this moment, he shook his hand slightly. Swish. Suddenly, the radish seemed to bloom at this time. However, the flowers bloomed upside down, and at this moment, saw that 2 children fell out of the radish. These are children carved out of everyone radishes. Hiss. Suddenly, the whole audience took a breath of cold air. Shocked. The shock now is completely different from before. No one thought, how did Lin Fei do it? Cameraman, hurry. Close up. Liu Lei in the viewing area reacted quickly and quickly picked up the walkie-talkie in his hand and shouted point in front. The cameraman of the program group heard these words and reacted immediately. So, he quickly pushed the camera forward and took a close-up of the 2 carved children. At this time, the whole live broadcast room was speechless. Shocking, shocking, shocking. Everyone didn't know what idiom to use to describe it. I saw that the 2 carrot children were lifelike, 1 boy and 1 girl, and the wrinkles on their clothes were even carved by Lin Fei. The 2 children had smiles on their faces and looked up at the butterfly on the tree. It was as if they had touched their most beloved toy. Such a carving actually showed a scene. Everyone was so surprised that they couldn't speak. Wow. Finally, the people on the scene reacted. Shocking emotion spread in hearts. Next, the referee didn't know what to say when he saw Lin Fei's sculpture. After a long while, he let out a long breath and finally reacted. Next, please give the judges a score. These words were said weakly. After all, everyone had already guessed the result. As expected. Wow. Score. Damn. Brother Lin is awesome. This is so awesome. Brother Lin is awesome. Tang. Xiaochu and the others also reacted and screamed loudly. Everyone was amazed by Lin Fei's work and happy for his score. Alice, go give Mr. Lin a microphone. I want to hear Mr. Lin's interpretation of this work. Okay, Alice went backstage to get busy. Okay, now, let's congratulate contestant number 7, Lin Fei from Lango, for successfully getting full marks in the first round. Next, wait a minute, just as the referee was about to say to proceed to the next round, Alice's voice rang out. I saw Alice coming in front of Lin Fei, holding a microphone, looking at Lin Fei and smiling. Mr. Lin, we really want to know what is the interpretation of your work. Lin Fei was a little confused by such a sudden interview. Damn, there was no such link. Fortunately, Lin Fei was quick-witted and took the microphone and smiled. Actually, I just want to show the culture of our dragon country, the carving skills, which have been passed down in dragon country for countless years, and I also hope that through such a display, more people will like it and fall in love with this thing. There is a saying in dragon country, there are 360 professions, and there are top talents in every profession, as long as there is. Listening to Lin Fei's polite words on the stage, Tang Xiaochu and others in the audience sat down with a helpless smile. Tang Xiaochu, Brother Lin, when did you learn to speak officially? This is too official, isn't it? Speaking, Tang Xiaochu picked up the water beside him and drank it. On the side, Yang Zixin also nodded in agreement. Yeah, Brother Fei's words are really good, but in the end, if you have the ability, whatever you say is right. Haha. The people around him also laughed in agreement. The heart that was just hanging finally fell at this moment. But there is another more important point. That is, some people look down on my cooking skills. I thought, show it to let him know how rubbish I am. Puff. Instantly, hearing Lin Fei's words, Tang Xiaochu, who had just drunk a mouthful of water, sprayed out the water. This is hard for Zhang Hang, who is sitting in front. Tang. Xiaochu was embarrassed. Old. Zhang, sorry, I don't want to laugh either. I just can't help it. Chapter 198. Is it so difficult to admit that others are excellent? Zhang Hang turned around, looking helpless. Picking up a tissue, Zhang Hang wiped the back of his head, but suddenly laughed. This brother Lin is really a spectator. Isn't this obviously to make Paul? Yes. So he couldn't help it. This brother Lin is a real person. I admire you. For a moment, several people smiled knowingly. Damn. Lin Fei is awesome. What he said is obviously a slap in the face of Paul. Well said, Lin Angry Fei. I have been annoyed with Paul for a long time. Isn't he arrogant? We just want to slap him in the face and let him know the price of being arrogant. Ha. Arrogant? I think Paul is the most arrogant, right? What he said is cool to hear. Lin Fei is awesome. I love you forever. The comments were swiping crazily. At the scene, some people who knew the truth of the matter also laughed. This Lin Fei is so annoying. Isn't this a slap in the face? Hey, brother, what's going on? Who looks down on this contestant's cooking skills? Isn't this a brain problem? Such amazing cooking skills are actually looked down upon. Oh, don't you know? Let me tell you, it's contestant number 6. His name is Paul. I heard that when he first came, he looked down on this contestant's age and said that he didn't know how high the sky is and how deep the earth is. What? How stupid is this? Since when has a person's strength been judged by age? That's right. And this contestant number 7 beat him before. No, it should be someone else. Number 8 was furious and number 7 fought back. What's going on? Tell me quickly. Okay, I'll tell you. Such things are constantly happening in the crowd. There are even some people shouting loudly, "No wait, get out." The voices came one after another, and every word hit Paul's heart point. Suddenly, Paul felt as if his heart was stabbed hard. These people are actually scolding him? Since Paul won the championship last year, he has never been abused like this. He is so arrogant that he has no boundaries. When such a thing happened, Paul was furious. So, under the eyes of everyone, Paul quickly came to the front, snatched the microphone from Lin Fei, and shouted loudly, "Time. Even if I cover little man, it takes an hour. How can he Lin Fei be so fast? Ah. I know, this must have been planned by you a long time ago, right? In order to prevent me from winning the championship, you are in the same group and teamed up to play tricks on me, right? Where are the people from the Chef Alliance? You obviously prepared this in advance and gave it to Lin Fei in the end, just to let Lin Fei win the championship, right? I didn't expect that you would do such an activity. Are you worthy of these audiences? Are you worthy of us who are participating in the competition? Quiet. The whole place was in deathly silence. Everyone looked at Paul in disbelief, with only one thought in their mind. Is this guy crazy? Standing up and saying that others cheated at this time, still questioning the officials of the entire event. How brainless is this? Instantly, looked at Paul, as if he were an idiot. Fuck, this guy can't afford to play anymore. If you can't afford to play, don't play. What's the point of questioning others? That's right. This guy obviously can't afford to play and comes out to make trouble. Does Lin Fei need to cheat? Open your eyes and see clearly. Okay, alas, there must be something hateful about pitiful people. Why do you think that others are cheating? Can't you seriously admit your mistakes? As the words of the barrage fermented, Yang Zixin pouted and said in the audience, these people just can't stand seeing someone better than them. They even dare to question the tournament officials? I'm afraid he really hasn't experienced what it means to be better than others, right? Alas, what's wrong with this guy's brain? Aside, Zhang Hang also echoed. At the beginning, he was just looking for trouble. Our brother Lin is a little younger, but what does this have to do with cooking? That's right, I guess. He is just jealous of our brother Lin's handsomeness. Everyone was talking one by one, and it seemed like they were talking seriously. Finally, Chris stood up with a frown. Picked up the microphone, looked at Paul's burning eyes, and spoke calmly. What? Believes that Lin Fei can't do it. But this is exactly what Chris wants to see. What does a competition need? It needs thrilling moments, as well as resonance and response from others under their doubts. Sure enough, Chris looked at the scene and spoke. Audience, Paul said that he wanted Lin Fei to show his carving again. Are you willing to wait for a while? No problem. Let Paul go. Why do you question him? Lin Fei slapped Paul in the face. At Tsunami, hearing the high cheers from the scene, Lin Fei smiled helplessly. But it doesn't matter. Slap in the face? He likes it. Humph. Lin Fei, this time, I want to see how you cheat under my nose. Paul came to his position, took a carrot, checked it very carefully, and then put it on Lin Fei's table. Looking at Lin Fei, Paul looked like a madman. Lin Fei, today, I'm going to expose your tricks. I want everyone to see your face. Heh. Looking at the carrot, Lin Fei smiled. Just like that, Lin Fei picked up the radish, and once again picked up the most delicate carving knife, and started to work on the radish. At the same time, Lin Fei was still muttering. Hey, I said, I have a sentence that I really like. What is it? Paul covered his mouth just after he finished speaking subconsciously. Excellent. Ahem. The first update is here. Yiling jiu wu yi wusan liu yi bar. This is a magical homophonic word. Chapter 199. The unclear knife. Paul pointed at Lin Fei, feeling a little angry for a moment. Lin Fei was still mocking himself at this moment. Then Paul stopped talking. He didn't want to get involved with Lin Fei with these useless things, and time passed by like this minute by minute. Lin Fei was still the same as before, moving very fast. Everyone wanted to see the mystery clearly, but they couldn't understand it. Stalling for time, right? What? Now you know you can't get off the stage. If you know you can't get off the stage, how about you apologize and voluntarily withdraw from this competition? Long-winded. Crack. Lin Fei's mouth moved slightly, and the two words came out clearly. Immediately, Lin Fei's hand relaxed. Cool. Smiled. I'm sorry, referee, for wasting everyone's time. How about we hurry up and get to the next game? The referee was stunned. Wow. The whole place was boiling again. As the saying goes, operations that are incomprehensible are the most surprising. At this time, was already surprised when they saw the butterfly that suddenly appeared on the table. Everyone again. 2 trees, 2 butterflies, 2 children. This may not be described as a work. As for works of art, everyone feels that they should be more appropriate. For a moment, everyone was excited. Holy crap. Lin Fei knew. What the hell, it's only been a few minutes, and another tree and butterfly appear. I'm ashamed to say that I actually watched it twice, and didn't even understand how it was done. Holy crap, are these human hands? Are they so dexterous? I've already bought the radishes. I won't say anything anymore. I'll try it with my nail clippers. Show upstairs. Do you need my 40-meter sword to peel an apple for you? The barrage was buzzing wildly, and the crowd was shouting crazily. The two seemed to be echoing each other. Putting the carving knife back into the knife holder, Lin Fei turned to look at Paul and asked with a smile, "Are you satisfied now?" Paul was speechless. Obviously, he had not thought of such a result. Looking at Lin Fei's work in a daze, Paul was equally shocked. How can it be? How could this man carve something so beautiful? Moreover, this is just an ordinary carrot. What surprised him even more was that it happened in such a simple time. This Lin Fei is so young, but why is he so accomplished in carving? Paul just couldn't figure it out. To this day, he still finds it difficult to accept this fact. He thought, this matter is really strange. But I never thought that I was really like the frog at the bottom of the well, sitting in the well and looking at the sky. Okay, let's move on to the next stage of the competition, which is knife skills. Each person has a piece of meat. In 10 minutes, the person who can cut it evenly and aesthetically will get high scores. Finally, the referee's voice rang. Listen. The staff on site assigned the corresponding materials to everyone again. And Paul finally reacted at this time. He looked at Lin Fei in shock and heard the sighs around him again. Such a scene was an unprecedented humiliation for Paul Hart. Turning his head and looking at Lin Fei, Paul sneered, "Lin Fei, although I don't know how you did this carving, I want to say, do you think you can win surely this way? I'm afraid you don't know, right? What I'm most proud of is my knife skills. The victory in this first stage still belongs to me. It's so verbose." Lin Fei curled his lips, took the piece of beef sent by the on-site staff, and began to prepare for the operation. This Paul suddenly felt like he had been punched in cotton. Being so uncomfortable really made Paul feel a little angry, as if something was stuck in his chest. Looking at Lin Fei, Paul gritted his teeth for a long time, and finally turned his eyes to his chopping board. Looking at the piece of beef in front of him, Paul secretly determined that no matter what, he must succeed today. He must use his strong strength to tell Lin Fei that cooking skills are not won by those fancy things. Little did he know that this was nothing to Lin Fei. I just want to participate in a good competition. Next, the knife skills competition. 10 minutes countdown begins. Finally, the referee's words fell, and the second phase of the competition finally began at this time. As for the picture of Lin Fei and Paul, because of a conflict between the two, it actually appeared in the middle on the big screen at the back. Wow. When the audience saw this, they immediately started cheering. The officials of this competition are so good at it. However, they like it. Cameraman, go give Paul a shot. Similarly, Liu Lei also started making arrangements at this time. Seeing this, the audience in the live broadcast room started discussing. Did you see it? This is so cute. Paul is so anxious. My dear, these teeth are almost broken, aren't they? Do you want to be so? That's right. The veins on his hands are all standing out. Is this angry cutting meat? I see. He is eager to crush the meat. It's so difficult to admit that others are excellent, but in the final analysis, this is Paul seeking his own death. I'm confused. Why did he target Lin Fei so much in the first place? Upstairs, I know what's going on. I guess it's Paul who feels jealous when he sees Lin Fei being so favored by Chris. Wait a minute. Look, everyone, this Lin Fei's knife is so fast. I don't know who said it, and everyone turned their attention to Lin Fei. For a moment, everyone was stunned. Tang Xiaochu, hey, dear, what kind of knife skills is this? Is this meat? Why do I feel like I'm chopping vegetables and melons? Isn't this too fast? Zhang Hang, huh? Why didn't the meat stick together after brother Lin cut it? That's right, everyone's eyes were on cutting Lin Fei. Everyone discovered that Lin Fei's left hand was grabbing the piece of meat in front of him in a very strange posture, and the kitchen knife cutting was up and down very quickly and rhythmically at such a speed. Everyone was slowly surprised to find out the knife in Lin Fei's hand could not be seen clearly. Chapter 200, as thin as a cicada's wing. Do you want to say anything now? Yeah, what's going on? How can Lin Fei's knife skills be so fast? Isn't this too scary? My goodness, what kind of hand speed is this? As a chef, I'm a little stunned. Are you sure Lin Fei was not a chef before his debut? Based on this knife skill, are you sure he is mediocre now? Yeah, let's not talk about what the final result will be, just the carving skills. I guess there will be restaurants scrambling for it. What can't this Lin Fei do? Why does he look so scary now? No, I'm getting deeper and deeper into this man. What should I do? I found out that I'm in love. The person above, you have said this for no less than hundreds of times, right? In the barrage of the live broadcast room, messages were swiped frantically at this time. And Tang Xiaochu and others had the same feeling. Everyone didn't understand what exactly was Lin Fei doing. Seeing others, the slices of meat had already been perfectly cut and placed on the chopping board. Everyone used their imagination. Arrange them in any way that looks good. After all, whether they can advance to the finals depends on this last shiver. But they didn't expect that Lin Fei would do it this way. Everyone just felt that Lin Fei didn't seem to cut the meat in his hand knives, and Lin Fei also put away the kitchen knife at this time. With an indifferent look, Lin Fei's faint smile appeared in the live broadcast room again. For a while, Countless female fans were once again fascinated by Lin Fei's smile. Everyone was attracted by Lin Fei. But no one saw that Lin Fei's left hand was trembling a little at this time. And drops of sweat appeared on Lin Fei's forehead. No one knows what Lin Fei did just now. When he thought of how hard he worked, Lin Fei felt helpless. What was the point of doing this? Wasn't it to expand his popularity? Lin Fei had a feeling that the day when he became stronger would not be too far away. Mr. Chris, will Mr. Lin be the last one to score later? Alice asked doubtfully beside Chris. Yes, Chris nodded and smiled. Still, like that, Alice, you must be wondering why I did that. Yes, Alice nodded, then looked at the referee on the stage and quite silently. The meaning was very clear. That is, Lin Fei was the last one to score. Now, the referee was no longer surprised. Before, if he was still surprised why it was arranged like this, now it might seem so natural. In the final analysis, this is all Lin Fei's strength. At the same time, Chris's voice sounded again. Alice, let me tell you, this Lin Fei showed me a calm attitude from beginning to end. This attitude is something I have never seen before. Fearless. I think Lin Fei is in such a state. Haha. Mr. Chris's understanding of Dragon Country culture is getting deeper and deeper. Alice laughed. Chris listened and waved his hand with a smile. Okay, stop flattering me. I don't fall for it. You know, I only care about money. I believe that this competition will definitely raise our popularity to an unprecedented level. After the competition is over, we will immediately prepare for the next event. We can't miss this wave of popularity. Understood? President Chris, don't worry. Well, while the two were talking, the final scoring moment finally arrived. As the camera continued to move forward, the works were shown one by one. It has to be said that everyone really took great pains for the final score. What shape of the flame mountain, what fallen dominoes, showed their powerful imagination. Finally, it was in front of Paul's table. Score was 98 points, and he was only 2 points away from full marks. In response, Paul's proud demeanor was once again revealed. Heh, Lin Fei, did you see that? This is strength. After I cut it, I still have time to carve and modify it. But you, huh? Finally turning his head, Paul was stunned for a moment, and then laughed. Oh my god, what did I see? I laughed to death. Didn't you cut it? Haha. Under the camera, Paul looked extremely arrogant. I said, am I right? Didn't you do anything to this piece of meat this time? Lin Fei, do you plan to shake it for a while and a tree will come out of it? Do you think we, the audience, are all fools? Paul's arrogant words spread throughout the square through the speakers. For a while, the audience around couldn't help it. How can Paul look down on others like this? Even if you are arrogant, there must be a limit. Paul, is this the attitude you should have as a chef? Huh, that's right. How did you win the championship last year when you are so arrogant? Shut up. Listening to the shouting around him, Paul shouted. Looking around, Paul shouted like crazy. What? Are you very dissatisfied? That's good. Come up and compete. If you don't have the strength, don't come to teach me. After speaking, Paul pointed at Lin Fei. You really think he has the strength to fight against me? The audience stopped talking. Everyone looked at the intact piece of meat in front of Lin Fei and was speechless. Yes, how come Lin Fei's piece of meat has not changed at all? Ah, you done. At this moment, Lin Fei looked at Paul and sneered. Paul sneered when he heard it. What? You're going to shake it out for me? What? Paul's eyes widened. Lin Fei picked up the piece of meat, hung it in the air, and shook it again. When everyone saw the thin slices of meat slowly falling, the whole audience was shocked. Lin Fei smiled. Looking at Paul. Lin Fei, now, do you want to say anything? End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.